Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, with my other hosts.
Sage.
Anthony.
Colin.
Cool. What's up? How you doing?
How goes
How you
it?
people doing tonight?
I hope you
Very
had a great day.
conversational tone today.
Can you
Hey,
can you tell that I pissed Mike off about 30 seconds ago?
I don't know, whatever. Well, it's also like, because sitting there for because there's already the, you know what? Doesn't matter.
No,
We
it
can talk about
absolutely doesn't.
Anyway.
So today is a little bit of a different episode, I think, because we are missing our resident streamer gal. So it's going to be us four today.
Sure
Let's
is.
see how awful this gets.
Yeah, it was almost a 3-person.
It
Went
was
back
almost
to
a
4,
three-person.
and then we're like, all right, cool.
No, we pulled that one out at the last second. But
It was almost a 5 for a
so-
hot second. And
Could have been. Could have been.
Then we lost the 5 again,
We lost
back to 4. Then it was 3, then back to 4.
What a revolving door of people we have coming
Yeah.
into this podcast.
Can you tell that we are clearly absurdly well scheduled?
Oh,
and-
incredibly professional.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
ready to go.
I think our planning is just top tier.
Yo, we got a
Abysmal.
Google Calendar.
We
We
do
have
have
a
a
Google
Google
Calendar.
Calendar.
ready to
We're
go.
very
Then for
professional.
some reason, I just can't operate for the love of God.
We have a Google
I
calendar.
put in my dates that I'm not going to be here like 4 times
I
the other
fixed
day.
it.
Thank you.
It's there
I don't
now.
know why it wasn't registering.
we have a
but
Google
we figured it
calendar.
out.
I misread it, so I just hurriedly did work for oh god, I have to do this by Saturday. And it's like Mike today was like, no, next Saturday.
I was like, yeah, no.
Oh,
My
I'll do
episode's
it.
this week.
Oh, my stress level just went down.
Yeah,
We're good.
yeah.
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah,
Rock
I'm
and
like,
roll.
all right, cool. My episode's up next. Then I was like, all right, got to work on the next one. Already a good amount of ways into that.
There you go.
Being,
Look at you being proactive.
Productive.
yeah, man.
Yeah, way to go.
Just after figuring out how to get all this
Sure as
shit.
hell didn't finish my episode an hour ahead before I had to turn it in, but who's counting?
Yeah, you
Who's
say
counting?
that like I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, to be
It's a-
fair,
it's-
I always said it, so I'm like, this is 30 minutes of work at most, and that's when I finish it.
Oh, cool.
If-
Because I
if
just
it-
sit down and marathon for
When I'm the
absorb-
most productive.
abhorrent amount of times.
Not productive. That's not the right word. When I'm the most
Proactive.
proactive, that's really saying something.
I-
Because I am
I-
the king of putting shit
It just
off.
shows your
My-
investment into this podcast.
My problem is that I'm very bad at working in my own space. Like when I was at college, I did all my work at the library because it's a different area, and my brain's like, cool, we work here. But then when I'm where I play video games and watch anime, it's like, I could take a 5-minute YouTube break.
I mean, if
I
it,
can play
if,
Dokkan for 5 minutes and not 15, 20, 30
20,
minutes.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't do any of the editing, and I've just sucked my past week into playing Breath of the Wild. And
Yes.
any
Well,
spare
yeah.
moment I have is just playing this game, opposed to watching the anime that's on my forever to watch list.
Well, yeah, you and Kat are helped with the pre-production, and then you help us set up with a lot of the businessy shit that we're trying to work out.
Would it be good if the audience knew our defined roles?
Probably
I
not.
guess. No?
I feel like
I mean, they know
it's
the editors
not,
at this point.
yeah, I
We
guess.
I feel
complain
like
about it
we-
enough.
we're-
We have complained about it enough.
I feel like there's no set in stone roles where it's just if somebody can do this, please do.
Well, I feel
Yeah,
like
pretty
each of
much.
us have kind of settled into a specific.
I mean,
role.
like,
I
especially-
would say I'm the tech guy.
Right.
Definitely.
I would say that.
I mean, yeah, I feel like because it's not a straight up company at the moment.
is
It's
true.
it's
Yeah,
just
we're-
mostly just whatever somebody can do, please do it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
sure are in the basement.
But,
So
like,
Like, just a
there's
couple
yeah.
of
not a
assholes
company.
in my
But
parents' basement.
if we're throwing company logos, I don't fucking know. I mean, Sage is definitely the fucking financer,
mean
but we don't have
CCO?
financers.
CCO of
Do-
Vaguely Anime.
Do you mean titles, not
Yeah, whatever.
logos?
Well, it doesn't matter.
I'm just saying.
But I guess CCO or something. Collins.
I know. Is it CFO? It's Chief
CFO.
Financial
Yeah,
Officer.
yeah,
CFO.
That's yeah.
God, I fucking don't want to say CEO for me, but I feel like I'm doing quite a lot.
You-
not
you-
on anybody else's fault of
I
them
mean,
not
wasn't
doing
it your
it.
the
idea
thing is-
anyway?
It was a
Oh, it was
a
you
tandem
guys.
idea.
It was a tandem. We both wanted to do a project, and we just talked at each other about it for a while.
and
we
then
were
I was just like, "Hey, Colin, we should do a podcast." And he was like, "I mean, we sure could, but what are we going to talk about?" And I was like, "We could do about anime." And he was like, "I don't want to do it about anime though." And I was like, "We'll do it about vaguely anime stuff. We'll call it vaguely
Yeah,
anime."
There you go.
and then I sat there and I was like, the amount of times I try to name things, and this asshole comes up with that
Just
thing right on the.
fucking
It's always
right
that's
on
always
the
the best
money.
thing though. Is if you just
Oh,
say
for
something
sure.
on the spot, it's always better than
And then
think
I
in your head
immediately
against the wall.
and then I immediately bought a bunch of equipment and was like,
Yeah.
"Well, we can't go back now."
There you go.
I-
No, I
I've
think there's
invested
fewer, more
dollars in
satisfying
this.
moments. There's fewer, more satisfying moments than when you're trying to think of a name for a project or a group or something with you and your coworkers or whatever, and somebody just says it, and then everybody just goes. like turns to each other and it's just like, that's it. You know what I
Colin
mean?
literally
Like,
looked at me and went, "That's like the best idea you've ever had." And I was like, "All right, cool. Guess we're going with that."
Mike with notoriously bad ideas, one good one in his whole life.
And then I think we immediately contacted Sage, and then followed that up with Kat.
We contacted Sage. We walked over to her at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we were like, "Hey, would you do this?" And she was like, "Yeah, I guess." and then we contacted Kat, and it was because it was originally a 4-person,
yeah.
and then you
I
were just gonna
kinda
be there for our
stumbled in
yeah.
at the last minute because I
Anthony
was
wa-
originally going to be the behind the scenes guy, like watching everything. And,
Literally
like, kinda
the
doing all
greatest,
tech
the
shit.
greatest thing from our very first episode, which is still on, well, our very first test episode. Like it's it's not anywhere. You can't find it.
Not one
It's
bit.
Not
only on
available.
my computer.
Mm.
And it's just all of us doing like the intro of like, "Hi, I'm Mike. I'm Sage," and it was like in the hosts, and I point to Anthony, and Anthony just goes, "Oh, I'm a host now." Clearly, we figured it out.
It's like- well, I have been on almost every episode since, so I guess I could say
yeah, we
I'm
kind of just
solidified
like
as a host.
kidnapped you into this role.
I sure did. No, because like literally like the first test episode, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna help you guys out, do your thing, and then because that's what you originally wanted me to do. You were like, hey
that was
Anthony,
just for, like,
you're a
Anime
tech
Club,
guy,
right?
Yeah,
Like,
because me and Colin are not good with cameras.
well,
Yeah.
because the thing is, like, this is what I do for like a living, not like podcasting, but like at work we do like broadcast scenario where like we have like cameras hooked up to capture cards that go into like a server, and like this is like the exact setup that I do for work and stuff like that. So you were like, hey, we need like a tech guy. Do you want to like come help us out with this? And I was like, yeah, of course. So I came, and then like I don't know, I somehow finagled my way onto the show.
Yeah, well, yeah, 'cause you were
with
here,
some
and I was
divine intervention.
Yeah, you were
No,
here,
I
and I was
think
like,
we
"Do you want to
finagled
just
you.
yeah? Do you want to just like be in the episode?" And you were like, "Yeah, I guess."
I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
And then I was like, "All right, cool, hosts." And I pointed at you, and you went, "Oh, okay."
That is true. That is
we
how that
tricked
happened.
him into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now we're a mostly 5-person cast, which is
Yeah, with the
Such-
occasional guest.
which the occasional guest, which is just so much fun to edit when there's so many people talking at once. It doesn't make me want to fucking hang myself.
Oh, sometimes I just look at it and I'm like, this is the chaos I want. This is the
Do you
chaos.
just
I
revel
leave
in the
it.
chaos?
You-
Is that what
Colin
it
just
is?
A little
takes step
bit.
back and
Oh
is
well,
just-
yeah, but like there's the moment where you're like looking at the edit and you're just like, which one of these is more important? And so you listen to it and you're listening to it and then you're like, all right, which one's gonna come out on top? Somebody's gonna stop their conversation and go, what were you just saying? And that's the one you focus on.
Yeah.
But even still, when you're like, all right, cool, that's the one. Then you're like, but how do I make it work so it's not just randomly quiet with the other people? Anyway,
It's a dangerous, not a dangerous game. It's just a game.
yeah.
I don't
gotta
know
have
what I was trying to
finesse.
say there.
And it's like, because while we were figuring this out, we were like, all right, cool. We got 2 cameras. Me and Colin put in for 2 cameras. We're like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
We need a third for a wide shot. We don't have the money for another expensive camera. And then Anthony was like, well, I got like a 720 camera. And we're like, it'll work.
Yeah, it's well, yeah. Well, I dude, that thing. Like honestly, I was like, yeah, I got a 720p camera that we could possibly use, and like, it was like collecting dust. So I was like, I'm not gonna use it. So I bought it over, and now we are for sure getting a 1080p cam for the wide. Like,
Yeah.
But no, I call her all reliable. She was my first ever
Oh,
camera.
my God.
She was my first ever camera. I took
love
so
it.
many pictures and videos on that thing. It
Which
was
is great
crazy.
because audio-only listeners will just be like, I don't know what they're talking
Yeah, I,
about.
don't, I
Well,
have no
only-
idea what they're fucking
It
talking
looks
about.
great to me while I'm looking at something else.
Yeah,
Scrolling
right,
Twitter.
yeah, for sure. Could be. But yeah, no, it was a nice camera, but it's time to retire it. You know what I mean?
Time to take
and,
it out back.
and now it's being used.
Take it
now
out back.
It's using its retirement to be
Old
the
Yeller.
wide shot of an anime podcast.
Which is what we all aspire to be.
Which is yeah. Honestly, as soon as I retire, like put me in, stick a lens in my mouth, and then just let me be an anime podcast camera.
So Anthony, I gave you a little homework like so last minute.
Yeah, you sure did, and no, I didn't do it.
Damn it.
I did not expect you to, if I'm being completely honest.
Colin texted me at like 3 o'clock today. So for everybody at home, our schedule usually goes, if we have some stuff to do beforehand, I'll get here at like the 3 of us will get here at 6 o'clock. Well,
Me, Colin, and Anthony.
yeah, we'll get
Yeah,
here
but
at 6
Colin-
o'clock. And yeah, me.
Well, yeah,
yeah,
Colin.
yeah.
Colin I
here
mean,
For
we
our
said
audio
it.
only listeners, for the plebs
Colin,
who listen
this
only
is
on
Colin's
audio.
house. He's always here. It's
Yeah,
just
for
me
sure.
and Anthony getting here early.
But Mike, Colin, and I are here at 6 o'clock, and we're doing some other stuff related to this, whether it's like ironing out technical issues or like filming some stuff that we're going to use for an episode or whatever. And then Sage and Kat get here at like 6:30, and then we like
And then
test
we
everything.
don't help set up.
And then you sit
Yep.
there and do nothing. No, I'm kidding. But 6:30 rolls around and they like come, and then Mike and I and Colin and we're all like setting up stuff, and then 7 o'clock we record. I forgot where I was going with this.
You were saying that you had homework and you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Colin texted me at like 3 o'clock, and I'm like in the middle of the workday, and he's like, "Hey, if I sent you an 87-page thing to read, can you do it by the time we get here?"
What
It's
is
a
it,
manga.
87
It's
pages
a
of
manga.
manga?
Dude, I can never figure out your work schedule though, because sometimes you're like, "Oh yeah, you guys want to watch this?" And I'm like, "I'm at work. What are you
Well,
doing?"
here's the thing. All right, so my work schedule is like, so it depends on if I work from home or if I'm in the office. So like, if I'm in the office, that means we have like a shoot going on, right? But if I'm working from home, then like I only have to do like, like I'll answer an email and then I'll like play video games the rest of the day and like not do anything, right?
That sounds
'Cause,
ideal.
like, yeah, because it's cool. It's all it is working from home. I don't have to like keep up appearances. Like I don't have to like dress up to go to the office or like make believe I'm doing something while I'm at the office. So like somebody will email me and be like, yeah, this is it, and then leave it alone for a bit. So like sometimes I'll have like the time to like watch a conference or something. Like because the other day it was the Ubisoft conference, so they were revealing that like fucking stupid Call of Duty clone thing, and I was like, hey, do you guys want to watch it? And that's where I have the time because I was home and I was like, all right,
Yeah,
I'll
because I
watch
saw
it.
that and I was like, "I am at work, sir. You're
Yeah.
usually at work. What are you
Yeah.
doing?"
No, because I work a 9 to 5 every day except for Friday where I get off at 1. At least during the summers, we have this thing called Summer Fridays where they don't
Ooh,
exist.
Spicy.
They don't exist. No,
Oh.
because I'm always so
Oh,
busy. I never
okay,
get off
never
at 1.
mind.
I usually end up getting off at like 3, but whatever, it's fine. So that's usually my schedule. So that's why I have like the time to like
Do the thing.
do the conference.
Wednesdays are my only free days because our work.
get
is-
out at what, 12:30?
Yeah, 12:30 because we can only do 40 hours. They don't do
Okay.
overtime. So I'm like, all right, I hit 40 on Wednesdays because I work a weekend,
Sorry, I'm dying.
and then I'm like, rad,
more
get
beer.
Out at 12:30 on Wednesdays and just like catch up on stuff or like just knock out and edit. Like Wednesdays
Yeah.
is the day I sit down and I'm like, all right, edit time. I have because like I have all the time I'd be at work to edit. So like if I need to watch something, I'll usually right when I get home, I'll just watch whatever show I wanted to do, like an episode or two, and be like, all right, cool, now edit.
Yeah.
But that's what I did with Loki. I would get home, watch an episode of Loki, the new episode, and be like, all right, time to edit.
No, what's weird with me, like my whole like work process is I'll get really creatively juiced at like 1 in the morning.
I have no
So-
energy for that anymore.
No, I straight up it'll be like 1 in the morning and I'll be like,
Yeah.
I have to edit, or like I'll have to like write something down or like whatever, and then I like edit for like 5 hours, and I'll look at the clock and I'll be like, oh boy, 6 a.m.
I
mean,
like
go
that
to
too.
that was me. Like, I mean, all through college, it's just editing
Yeah.
room. You
Oh,
live in
yeah,
that
dude.
fucking editing room.
Oh my god!
until
If Eamon was
6
here
a.m.
today, we could tell you so many stories about our college's editing room. That was like my favorite place at school.
Oh, same.
Because because our film program was like pretty small, so like everybody, like literally everybody knew everybody. Everybody. It was
Same.
like 50 kids.
Yeah.
So everybody knew everybody, and imagine like senior project rolling around. So like the last 2 like years, junior year and senior year, were like when we started becoming friends with, like when I was a junior, we were friends with seniors, and then us seniors were friends with the juniors. It was like a whole thing. But the amount of people that were like consistently in there until like 4 or 5 in the morning, just like talking, hanging out, editing, waiting for stuff to render, eating like shitty late night like chicken patties from the cafeteria. Like,
Yep.
oh my god, those are like my favorite memories from college, honestly.
I mean, literally, oh god, am I already repeating a story on the podcast? I can't even remember if I told this or not. That like we would be in the editing room and I would bring my Switch, and
I don't think
like
you said this.
and like I'd have it. We had because there was a giant TV in the room, so I would bring my Switch and like the dock, and I'd plug all of it in
Hell
and
yeah.
leave it on Smash Bros. And we'd have the TV muted, and it would just be sitting there. All of us would be editing. Like an hour or two would go by. Someone would just throw their hand up and be like, I need a break. And we'd be like, Smash? And everyone would be like, let's do it.
Let's do it.
And so like we'd all just get up, move chairs, sit down, and just like, and because this editing room was so small, it would just be like all of us would be hunched up right next to the TV.
That's
just
awesome.
playing, like everyone would bring their GameCube controllers. We'd all just be playing it for like 30 minutes, an hour, and be like, all right, back to editing.
Yeah.
Which is why like I got so good at Smash, was because there were 2 people in our editing room that were ungodly good at Smash. One was insanely good as Roy, and the other was K. Rool. K. Rool Snake. for his two
Carol
people.
Snake. Wow.
Wow.
And
I had to ban Snake in my room my junior year because just this one guy just spammed with Snake, and I was not having any of it in my room, and my other roommate wasn't having any of it, so we made a sign that said Snake is banned in this room, and just Snake T-posing, and we put it up on the wall.
Did it work?
Yeah.
All right.
No one was
Sure
allowed to
worked.
play Snake anymore.
Those two guys were absurdly good because I used to play Ike, Crom, and Little Mac because I really just liked those three characters. I
And
like
now
the
you only
powerhouses.
play
Now I
Little
only
Mac.
play Little Mac
You
because
sure do.
I literally just was like, I need to get good and I need to pick one character. So I picked Little Mac, who has the worst recovery, but dude, I mean, everyone knows.
Yeah,
Little
but
Mac
now,
is
yeah,
but
like
now you're
Snake,
like
but
an
insane.
asshole when we play, and we're all like, let's do an honorable random. Let's all do an honorable random, and Mike's like,
No, Little Mac.
no, Little
Mike
Mac.
just
No, Little Mac.
sweats.
Yeah.
Mike's like, I only know how to play
'Cause,
one
like, yeah, 'cause,
character.
like I used to be good at like a good amount of them, but like or okay with a good amount of them, but like good with those three. Now I'm really good at Little Mac and nobody else because I had to unlearn everything to only be good with him.
I have a question for the group because you three play video games.
No, we do.
Do you feel like you're inherently good at video games, or do you feel like just like years of playing video games made you good at?
I mean,
I've been playing video games
yeah.
since like 2001, and no, I still suck at video games.
I'm
Still
like
bad at
I'm
video
not
games.
great at video games, but like I understand how they work because I've been playing them forever. All games just usually work on the same generic system.
Yeah,
That
depending on
is
the
it's
type.
a lot of like very similar kind of control functions that just you're used to, so it feels very smooth when you're playing. You know,
Yeah.
most of the time. And it's not that I'm good; it's just that I understand how it plays. Because
Yeah.
you know, you just got Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, which is
And I'm
definitely why
like
you're asking.
embarrassingly bad.
It's
Yes,
hilariously
you took you
bad.
about a week to get through the tutorial.
Yeah.
And that's not like me attacking you because I understand you
I'll
really
attack you.
just don't understand.
No, I just have
the
avoided-
the cameras and
So-
the controls are giving
so-
you trouble.
Because okay, so I just bought a Switch, which I got this really cute case, but
It's got like little dogs on it.
no, it's a dog and a cat. They're friends.
Yeah. They got like plum
Look.
hats on
They're
Oh,
adorable.
they're
for the
adorable.
They're very
adorable
cute.
listeners.
It's little peaches.
Sure.
But
Well,
yeah, so
peaches.
like the movement
Not the fruit.
on one joystick to the camera on the other, I've never understood it. Like I used to play Call of Duty with my brother and he would just constantly kill me. And then I remember I tried to play Portal with Alex and he would trick me into jumping into my own death like multiple times.
Hell yeah. Wait,
I
so you
just
don't-
started playing that with him too, and he has killed me like 2 or 3
Wait, so
times.
you don't
and
get-
he just gives a little snarky little
Yeah.
laugh. And I'm like, all right.
You don't get how to use like the two analogs, like
It's not that I don't understand it
Fluidly?
because I understand the concept. It's just with the like camera one, I get really turned around.
the fact that she
and-
just put her hand like that to move it just really was like, oh.
No, I mean I don't do that when I'm playing.
Okay,
I go
okay,
like this,
thank God.
but I get really turned
Mike,
around.
you're really mansplaining video
and then,
games.
and
I
then
didn't mansplain anything. I
I
just said
get-
the fact that she did that was just like it hurt.
I get stuck on like just a really close up of like Link's face, and then I can't figure out how to get away from it. And I'm like, this isn't giving me anything useful. Like I don't want to be looking at your face right now.
I'm turned on by your face, but like it's not
I'm like,
necessary.
I'm
right
like,
now.
and then if I like get like surprised by like some like creatures attacking me, I'm really bad because I just start panicking and then I forget all the controls and I'm just sitting there like, I don't know how to play this
Oh
game
my god,
anymore.
you're like me taking a test in high school. Like we're just like
So usually I like forget like which direction I'm supposed to be going in. So I'll just be like swinging any weapon in any direction, hoping that I'll just hit them. Like I only got past tutorial mode via sheer luck and dying at least 20 times because I blew myself up several times by accident. I also jumped to my own death into like freezing cold water several times, fell off a cliff several times.
Wait, Sage, do you have the paraglider yet?
I got the paraglider.
Okay, so you are
yeah,
at
yeah,
the
so
tutorial.
we're good.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you're at
I got the
tutorial.
paraglider, but that only took me like dying several times
You're
before I
nailing
could
it.
get it.
You're nailing
I'm
it.
doing great.
Here's the thing though. You want some words of encouragement?
Yeah.
There's like 200 more hours to go in that game. So like you're
You
good.
probably
Great.
can't suck
You're
the
good.
entire time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
No,
maybe
you're gonna-
by
you're
like
gonna
next
learn how to
year
play it.
I'll beat the
Yeah,
game.
yeah, probably.
In
Okay.
like a year's time.
She's
Yeah.
just gonna
Wait.
stumble into the final boss without doing the other things and just beat him at full power.
Oh my
Wait,
God, can you
wait.
imagine?
Okay, so my quest is like there's 2 quests right now that I have to
Yeah.
do. One is like go to this town, and the other one is beat Ganon?
Yes.
Yeah,
the,
don't
the
do
beat,
that
The
one.
beat Ganon one's always there.
Yeah, it's the overall correct. Remember how I told you could just go to Ganon at the beginning of the game?
Oh,
Yeah, you can
okay,
just
because
go
I
and
was
fight
like
him
definitely
immediately.
gonna
Yeah.
go do that.
Oh,
No.
yeah, don't do that.
That would have
No.
been hilarious.
But I kept getting killed off by all these like scary monsters, so I was like, okay, let me just go to this town. But I haven't
No,
gotten to
yeah.
the town yet because I keep getting killed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
don't fight
defeat,
Ganon. That's-
defeat
that's
Ganon
the
will be
final
there
boss.
Always.
Oh.
It'll always be
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
'Cause
Um,
that's the goal.
So basically, there's like 4 dungeons you want to do before that, and
Wait, are the dungeons different than the shrines?
yeah, think like a shrine, but like much bigger and like
Okay, I
just more
haven't seen
puzzles.
one yet then.
Yeah, you have
no,
not.
you're not anywhere near those.
Do I level up? Like, do I get more
No.
powerful?
No, you just
No.
get more stuff.
So when I was trying to tell
Well,
you before.
technically, you can kind of level.
Yeah, when you do those
get more
shrines, there's a
hearts.
bunch of shrines all over the place. You get like little spirit points, and you
The spirit
trade.
orbs.
Yeah, you
What do
trade
those do?
you trade those in for either extra hearts or extra stamina.
Oh, right, because I have an extra heart now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, was that the right choice? Like,
Yeah, get
Link
hearts.
is-
Get hearts for a little
I
while
think
in
I
the
did
beginning.
stamina first. I
No,
think I did
'cause-
all
Oh
stamina.
no, I did all stamina first. Too,
Link, when
for
he
sure.
runs,
I do
he's a
have-
weak ass bitch. He
Climbing.
fucking gets
That's why,
exhausted
yeah.
in 3 seconds.
That's-
Yeah,
I
you know what?
usually
Actually,
get
go
stamina.
back and forth for the first couple, then get hearts because you're gonna
Oh, yeah,
you're gonna want
need 'em.
hearts.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah, you're
you,
gonna need
yes, hearts.
Hearts
Yes,
all the way.
You gotta also remember that she's gonna get hit a lot.
Right.
We
Well,
also
yeah,
gotta cook
because I was
food.
like, because again, it's
She
I don't
did learn cooking food. I learned cooking food about halfway through the game, so I
never-
made
See,
sure to
I
tell her
learned
No, I,
really
cooking
I
quickly.
literally
food
never
pretty
bothered.
quick.
I didn't care. I never used it. I didn't care.
I
was getting potions and stuff. I didn't need that.
I
Cooking
didn't
is
know.
The best aspect of
Wait,
Breath of the
It's a
Wild.
really good
and
aspect
you know
of it.
what
I
keep
didn't
doing,
realize.
though?
What?
So Colin had told me, "Oh, you can cook food," and he said, "But you have to cook like certain things to make good things."
Yeah.
But if you just throw like
You can't
ran-
just throw random shit in a pot. And
right,
see if
so
it
I
happens.
kept
Yeah.
throwing random shit in a pot because I kept getting like the goblin horns and stuff.
Oh,
being
yeah,
like,
no, don't-
oh, if
don't
you
do
cook
that.
it with this, you get an elixir. So I was like, okay, let me just cook it up with something random. And I kept getting dubious food.
yeah.
Which it was like, it probably won't harm you, but like it's probably not great. And so every time
It
Link,
will kill you.
every time Link eats the dubious food, he just has this look of sheer disgust. And I'm like, I'm so sorry I'm doing
like,
this.
like,
to you."
I'm so sorry. I'm putting your stuff.
I'm really
tracks.
trying to think which shrine should we send her towards first, like which of the 4 temples, because I want it, because I think the best one
is-
probably is to go towards the water people.
The water first. The water one
yeah,
you should do first.
Wait,
definitely
where's
go towards
that?
that one first.
You have you don't get the quest for it until you go to Hateno Village. I don't
yeah, then
Where's
you'll
that?
get the quest for it.
Wait,
Where
what
you
or-
have to go
what-
right now.
What order did you guys
I
do
have
it
to
in?
go right now.
I did.
think. You said you have to go to a town, right? That's the town you have to go to. Hateno Village.
They'll
No,
tell
I
you
keep,
about the 4 things.
I keep getting killed before I get to the town.
I know. You still have to go there.
Yeah, you
because
still
you
have
keep
to get
dying
there.
doesn't mean you don't have to go there.
So
Have
what,
fun.
what order did you guys do it in?
I think I did,
did,
the water, then I did, after that, the Gerudo village, then the volcano, and then the bird people.
So I did.
You said the same thing twice.
No, I didn't. Gerudo?
Oh no, sorry. Yeah,
Volcanoes
never mind,
Gorons.
Yes, thank you. That
Sorry.
was
Yeah,
it.
my
Gorons.
brain just the G's, and I was like,
The
that's the
Gs,
same
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Because I want to send her to Gerudo first, because I know she's gonna love it, but I want to send her. But you absolutely want
She will
Mipha's,
not be able to
Mipha's Grace
figure out
first.
Yeah,
the
you
part to
absolutely.
fight
Yeah.
that.
That's Grace first.
Mipha's Grace is probably the most useful of those.
So here's what I did. I did the Zoras.
The Zoras, thank you.
I did the Zoras. I did the Gerudos. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Zoras, the Gorons, the Gerudos, and then I didn't play the game for a year and a half.
So
And I never beat the game.
I,
Oh,
I,
shame.
R.I.P.
I
Anthony.
did I did the fucking bird people.
Okay, you did them first.
Oh,
Then I did Gerudos. Then I did Gorons. Then Zora.
Okay.
wow.
I learned how to ride
Yeah,
a
I
horse.
realized
Ooh.
how much I
Oh, dude.
handicapped myself
Oh,
not
yeah,
getting
sure
the Zora first.
When you get to that village, you can start to use amiibos, and I have like all the amiibos for that game. You can get like the best horse in the game if you want.
Is it the white horse that some guy asked me to get for him?
No, that's a really fun mission though.
Did you
Oh,
guys
that
ever
is a great
tame that
mission.
spirit one?
Yeah.
What?
Because
Yeah.
it goes away like if you ever
You
get
can't
off
keep
of
it, unfortunately. Yeah.
What?
The spirit.
Oh,
one.
Wait, you
there's-
can keep the horses?
Spirit
Oh, you
one?
can
No, you
keep
can't
the horses.
You can't keep the horses, but there
It's a
in
spirit
the
horse?
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little Easter egg. It's called the Spirit of the Mountain or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It's like
like
this.
Spirit from the movie Spirit?
No.
No,
Oh.
it's
my
a.
God.
It's supposed to be.
blast
And
from the past.
who is it supposed to be like?
It's one of the I think it's like one the founder or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
of
that's
Nintendo.
cute.
It's named after him or something.
That's really cute.
And it takes full stamina to break, and then if you ever get off of it, it just goes away.
Yeah.
But it's the best horse in the game.
That'll do it.
You have to be like really stealthy to get up to it because it will just like disappear and run away from you.
It
It was
gotta
it
wear
was
that
really
shoes.
hard, but it was kind of rewarding. And then when you ride it, it's just like it's perfect. You try to bring it to the stable, and they're like, we can't take that. No,
Yeah, that is a
leave.
ghost.
Too powerful.
Yeah, they're like, no, that's like the god of horses. We're not putting that in a fucking
Yeah,
wooden
no,
Yes.
fence.
God.
He's found atop Satori Mountain.
Yeah,
Satori-
it.
that's what it
Satori
is, the
Iwata.
mountain.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you know what I did several times?
Die.
Yes. But before I realized
Yes.
that like temperature was a factor, I think this is when I was going to the second temple in the tutorial mode. I would like try to go up to the second temple, like start going towards it, and then it was like very cold, like snowy mountain
mountain,
landscape, and I'm like, huh, why does he look so cold? And then I realized, like, oh, if you let him get too cold, he'll die. But then I couldn't.
Just like real life.
Yes, yeah. But then I was like, wait, but how do I know if he's too cold? So I kept doing it again and again and again. And then I was like, oh, wait, there's like a temperature, like,
Gauge.
The
yeah.
thing on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I couldn't figure out how to make him less cold for a while.
You figured it out though?
I did. You have
Okay.
to cook up some peppers.
No, that's one
that's-
option.
that's
There's also
one option.
you can also get clothing that's just warmer.
Okay, well, I couldn't find any warmer clothing.
can
So
also
I
just hold
either
it-
Well, as
ran
you
around
play.
with a torch or ate some peppers.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
also
the
just
torch
hold
is
the
also a
torch.
good option.
Yeah. But
Doesn't
so-
work when you go towards a volcano though.
Not one bit.
No,
not
I
one
can't
bit, not one
imagine.
bit, not one bit.
But I have right now. I have like fire and ice arrows, which I don't know what I'm supposed to use them against.
Just
Oh,
whatever.
they're
just
just-
bigger,
it doesn't
just
take
like
damage
bigger
modifier.
enemies, whatever. Like you
Yeah,
feel
you
like
can use
you
them
need to
against
hit
whatever.
harder.
I know, but I only have a very finite amount, and I
Yeah.
feel like if I
Yeah, you're
use them
supposed to
now,
use them anyway.
but I feel like if I use them now, I'm gonna
Oh god,
waste them.
she's becoming the hoarder style of game.
Oh, that's me, though.
Just like
yeah,
me.
no, I mean that's me
Just
too.
like me.
Oh, well, actually, for the arrow types, I didn't care, but like,
Oh, I
except for the ancient ones.
Oh, the
Yes,
guard,
Oh,
yeah.
it's
but-
Those
like that.
ones I
I'm
did
always
hold on to, but then like later in the game, I was like, because I was just fucking tanking everything at that point. I was like, oh, these don't matter anymore.
I'm
Yeah.
always
but I
like
did
that
get
Pro
a very
ZD
pretty
sketch.
bow.
You know the one where it's like, I'm out of MP. Give me an elixir, but I only have 99, and you can't buy them.
I will. It's literally like it's Master Balls. Like perfect example.
Never use
use a Master Ball ever. I will capture every Pokemon, legendary or otherwise,
With a
It's-
Pokeball.
Sometimes I'll go
I-
like all Pokeball.
I
Other
used
times I'll
to
use
give it. I
Ultras.
used to give it to my Venusaur as a hold item so that I wouldn't accidentally use it, which is incredibly useless.
Yeah, no. I straight up
Yeah.
never use a Master Ball. It's pointless though. Like you don't.
No,
there's
use Master Balls for legendaries, dude.
Why? I'll just fight it. That's more
Why?
fun.
Because you can save, but right before you fight them and just catch them in whatever you want. So
yeah, like it's so much more fun to like. Plus, it's only one legendary, and you have to. Usually, there's more than one anyway. So like,
So use more Master Balls.
there's only
There's
one.
only the one, I know.
Unless, except for Sword and Shield, which I think gives you like 2.
Sure could.
Ooh.
Sure
Maybe?
could.
I think you get 2.
I think you can get a
Dude,
second
I'm
one.
still
yeah.
like I'm only like the 3rd gym in Sword and Shield, and I bought it when I first got my Switch.
Oh,
So,
dude,
like,
you should.
I have to get through it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
You know, my thing with
I like
Switch,
that
my
one.
thing is I bought too many Switch games at once.
Oh,
so
okay.
I have
Oh.
like.
See, I bought 3 games because I felt that was very reasonable. But now that I'm like past the tutorial mode in Breath of the Wild, I also got past the tutorial mode, I think, in Fire Emblem.
You did.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Which took me way less time because the tutorial mode in Fire Emblem is like 5 seconds, which still took me like 3 days to get past. Look, because I kept forgetting where
No,
I
it's
was
alright, because
supposed
the
to be
entirety
going.
of Pokemon Sword and Shield's first 10 hours is a friggin' tutorial.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So throw it off.
Pokemon has a
I
bad
wanna
habit of
fall
doing
out a
that these
window.
days.
Pokemon has such a
Awful.
habit.
Wait.
It's the same with Persona 5. It's like
Oh
it's
no, it's 2-3 hours of exposition, and then the first dungeon in general is just a tutorial.
yeah. So like once you get past the first dungeon, but even still after the first dungeon, there is still some stuff
Because
So, like,
it's
you
just stuff they didn't-
like once you do it the first time, you just hit the fast forward button and just keep slamming A or X or whatever, and you're just doing that even still for like an hour and a half, and you're just like, oh my god, I already know.
It makes those games harder on replay because when you play it the first time, it's a lot of like story exposition, and it's like, oh, this is good, this is fun, this is interesting. It's definitely like watching a movie, but you know, you get through that because it's a JRPG. Then you replay it, and you're like, oh my god, shut the fuck.
like I'm in for the story, but but not this part. It's the tutorial. You know, like a lot of times, unless I'm going for like specifically just trying to get past certain things to do something again, like I'll still listen to the story most of the time. I'll sit there and like play through it again unless I don't have time, because then it doesn't matter. I've already done it. But like the beginning, it's just like, oh my god.
It's also a
just
lot of like
fucking-
basic character introductions. Like, hi, I'm Ryuji. I'm a hardcore punk with a heart of gold.
I'm the one that dyes his hair blonde.
Oh no.
And
How-
then you're just like, all right.
If you're playing a game through, like, how long does that take you?
depends
Not-
on the
it
game.
depends on the
game.
Okay, let's say because I
Persona's
just
like
started,
100 hours.
Let's just say because I just started Breath of the Wild,
It
and it
depends on
took
if you
me a
wanna complete
week
it.
to get through the story mode.
Oh,
or the
do you
tutorial.
want me to make you feel bad?
Oh god.
When I got the game, I played it for a week straight on the dot and finished it.
Yeah.
To be fair, I got home from work and I played that game until I went to sleep, and then I woke up on my day off and I played that game until I went to sleep because I was really obsessed with it when it came out. I loved it. I bought a $300 Zelda machine and I was not upset about it.
Yeah. I think the tutorial probably took me like maybe 20 minutes.
No, the tutorial takes longer than 20 minutes because it's like 4 dungeons. It's 4 temples.
Is it?
It's
Yeah,
4,
you
it's
have
a 4
to have
temples.
four
I thought it was
just
an hour.
getting to the guy.
It's like
no,
an
you
hour
have to
or
get
two.
four
Oh.
temples so you can get the glider.
I thought it was just getting to the guy.
No, you have to get the
No.
glider
No.
from
Okay.
him by
Then never
going through
mind.
the
Yeah,
4
yeah, all
temples.
right, then-
You have to get all the
Yeah, it's
powers.
like
About an hour.
give or take.
And then
Hour or two.
Yeah, I think maybe a week and a half, because I didn't have time to do that because I got it
Yeah.
when I was at school. So like
I think I got it
I think I
when I
maybe
was
took
still
me a week
unemployed,
and a half
actually.
too.
I was unemployed and then I got a job like right after that.
If you're playing like Call of Duty, I mean that shit's like
Call of Duty has a story mode.
Yeah.
most of them
Yeah.
do. That shit's
They're
like
usually a lot of
maybe
fun, too.
6 hours, maybe 5.
They're pretty quick.
Oh, I thought it was just like you play like with your friends. And
Yeah,
shoot
that's
mean,
each
yeah,
that's
other.
but
the most that's most of the content, but they usually have a story mode. It's usually I really liked those. Like I would usually play the story
Some
mode
of
like
them were
first
really
thing.
good.
Had some real Call of Duty had some really good
Like-
stories back in the
Like
day.
Modern
Modern
Warfare
Warfare
and Modern Warfare 2 were a lot of fun.
Phenomenal
really loved.
stories.
I mean, my favorite's still World at War.
World at War.
World at War was
Black
great.
Ops 1 had a phenomenal
Yeah.
story.
Yeah,
Um,
d-
oh
hey,
my God, with
then
all
the numbers,
all
Mason.
The friggin'
What?
conspiracy
Wait,
stuff.
wait. The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
Yeah, like is Persona 5. That it depends. Like especially for like Breath of the Wild, like games like that, where you're like, it depends on if you're just beating it or going for like a completion.
Yeah.
Like
Wait,
Persona
what's
5
the difference?
completion
so if you
in
play
terms of
just to
getting
beat
all
it,
the things.
If you play it just to beat it, that means you just go through like the story and then just like whatever.
Wait, I want to get all the things though.
Okay, so then
it's gonna take you.
gonna
How
take
do
a
I get
while.
all the things?
That's for you.
In
to
Breath of
figure
the
out.
Wild?
That's for you
That's
to
the
figure
thing,
out.
Breath of the Wild doesn't like tell you or anything.
Wait,
Yeah.
okay, is
Figure
it
out on
like
your own.
Skyrim where there's like an endless map?
No,
No.
it's not
And
endless.
Skyrim's also
Skyrim's
not
not
endless.
either.
Oh,
But like it's like Persona 5, right? Like that'll be maybe 80 to 100 hours to just complete regular, and then it's like 200, 250 to actually complete, which I've done.
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
that's,
that's the thing. Like,
and that's
you
like
don't have
just-
to do that. Like,
I
you
don't
can-
think I've ever completed one video game my entire life. Not
Um,
even Pokemon.
I've completed
Oh,
a
damn.
lot, but like I've only ever like 100% in terms of like achievements and stuff, like 3 games. Because
Yeah, I usually
really
don't have the patience to do it.
so I did it for Lego Marvel Superheroes.
But how do you know when you got all the stuff? Does it tell you?
It
Yeah,
depends
I
on
mean,
the
there's a
game.
percent-
Some
yeah, it
depends
games
on the
like
game.
have
Some
like
game- yeah.
progression systems. Other games,
Like
it's
when
just
you save,
like
there'll be
knowing.
like a percentage.
Will this
like,
tell me if
I
I got
don't
all the
remember.
stuff?
No,
No,
no.
because Breath of the Wild
doesn't.
isn't really as easy to 100% because it's like, oh, you got this really great weapon, it breaks.
you can beat the game immediately. You can just go to Ganon and fight him.
Yeah, I
Like, you
upset her
won't
by
win,
telling
but
her
there's
that
a
the speed
chance
run is
you
like
could win.
27 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't even beat these red goblin things.
Yeah, you
Actually,
you
no.
said
Wait,
you
she
wanna
sees
get
the
all
blue
things.
ones.
I got to the blue ones, but the blue ones keep fucking killing me. And then there's these like big lizard purple guys
Uh-huh.
who also keep killing me because they're like 3 times my size.
So by
Who's,
the way,
wait,
there-
wait, what? Who's editing this?
Anthony.
oh, sorry, Aunt.
Hey,
am.
hey, Aunt.
Yeah.
When she's saying that, I just want you to like, Lionel slowly comes up.
Oh, Lionel.
There are some fights that like you're just supposed to run away from.
Yeah, like there's this
well, until you
one.
get stronger.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I got past the tutorial and I'm now in the story and
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get to the town.
Right.
And on my way to the town, there was like this orc treehouse, and I was trying to kill them.
Just go past
That's
it.
really cute.
No, because I wanted their stuff.
Well, yeah, but you're
But
dying,
then I
so go
kept
past
getting,
it.
But then I kept getting killed because these blue orcs were a lot bigger and stronger.
'cause you're not supposed
and
to
I-
fight them
And I
yet.
couldn't figure out how to fight them. So then after dying 5 times in a row, I was like, okay, maybe I'll just run past them, and then I did.
So like this isn't you know, I'm just trying to remember if I'm not remembering this right. Like, was there any difficulty of getting to that town for you guys?
I'm sure
I don't
when I first
remember.
played
I've
it.
had a lot of difficulty.
Here's the thing, though,
because
like-
all
Like,
these
like I said,
monsters
I'm not
keep popping
yeah,
up
but like,
out of
I'm not
nowhere.
trying to be like mean. I just was like legitimately trying to remember like if it's supposed to be like hard to get to that
Breath of the
town
Wild
at
is just
first.
such a
Breath of the
different game
Wild-
than
yeah,
other
Breath of the Wild
Zeldas.
has like a weird movement system that you have to get used to at first. So like I can get why it takes.
Okay,
a
is
while.
this if this is my first Zelda game that I'm playing?
It's very different than all the others. So there's
Yeah,
no
they
real-
all-
no,
they
it's
all
extremely
control
different than all the
completely
other Zelda
differently.
games, yeah.
like at most other games, there's a pretty linear path.
Like,
So
actually,
if
there was
I
something
go
really
and play
funny you
like
said.
Ocarina of Time or like Majora's Mask, like it would
God.
not.
Honestly,
be
Completely
if you play
don't
different.
ever
Ocarina of
play
Time,
Ocarina of Time.
if you played Ocarina of Time is like a good like predecessor to this game, because Ocarina of Time is like semi-open world too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this game is like fully open world.
What
Like,
was
you
really-
can go
You
anywhere.
you should
Right.
play
You can
you should
see
play
anything.
Twilight Princess instead.
That's
Oh,
my
I
favorite.
always
That's my
wanted to
favorite
because it's
Zelda.
really beautiful.
Oh god, the
That's
only
my
thi-
absolute
the
favorite
only thing
Zelda
with
game.
I
Twilight
always
Princess
wanted to play
is
that
when
one.
as a kid I did not understand the snow part where you have to go up to that thing. As a
yeah.
kid, I kept getting like lost or hitting like the invisible wall, and I was
Yeah.
like, what am I not getting? Like I don't understand. And
No,
then like
I
I had to
know
go back
exactly
like
what you're talking
years
about.
later because there wasn't like a guide to look up at the time.
Yeah.
And then I had to go back like years later and be like, and then I was like smart
Oh,
enough. old
that's
enough to
how you
figure-
do it. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like old enough to be like, oh, I was just an
That was a
idiot.
stupid kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
It's really funny she's talking about the controls though, because before she was telling me, she was like, I was trying to jump off this thing, but I thought that Link just autonomously jumps off things instead of me having to push a button. I was like, literally any other game and you
Yeah,
would have had
he
it.
used-
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he used
so
to.
I was at this one point where I had to like use like the magnet rune to like make a bridge, but I kept fucking it up. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe if I just run, like get enough speed, he'll jump onto the bridge. But he wouldn't jump, and I just kept falling to my death in like ice cold water.
Yeah.
But then I would get into the water, I'd be like, oh, maybe I can like climb up on this rock and then jump. But it was too slippery. Sorry, it was too slippery, and then he would fall back into the water and then die, and then I would get the game over, and I'd be like,
Vicious cycle.
yeah, that happened to me like maybe 5 times in a row.
Most other Zeldas, it automatically jumps, but like
Yeah.
a lot of games don't
Like even
do
the
that.
game before this one, like you jump automatically.
Oh, okay.
What was right before this?
Sword.
Skyward? Okay.
Ugh.
What a dog shit game.
What
It just
an
came out on
awful,
Switch. I
awful
didn't
game.
play it, so I kind of want to get it and play it.
Have fun.
Yeah, have fun,
Why is
bud.
it
No,
bad?
Everyone
I
always
like
says
it
that,
not.
though.
Oh,
Here's the
God,
thing
that
about
game was
Skyward
fucking
Sword.
awful.
Here's the thing about Skyward Sword. That story, excellent.
Mhm.
Excellent story. But everything surrounding
Like
it.
the gameplay?
awful.
I also,
It's
I,
just
I
so
also
bad.
like
Story of the
never
game.
No,
beat
but I'm
Twilight
saying is the
Princess.
game-
Oh, the
Gameplay
gameplay's
awful?
awful.
You never
Yeah,
beat
yeah,
Twilight
for
Princess?
Sure, it's terrible.
So here's
Twilight Princess is
Twilight-
incredible.
the problem with
Princess is a
Twilight
masterpiece.
Princess is I got to that one. It was like the first dungeon, right? It was the one with the monkeys. Do you remember that one? And there was
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
baboon on the bridge.
Oh, you told me
And you
this,
needed
yeah.
like a certain amount of monkeys to like make a path to get across a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I never had enough monkeys to get across the thing, and I know I went in
What a
every
dilemma.
room
Never
'cause
having enough
Too many
monkeys.
monkeys jumping on the
I
bed.
had the guide, and I went through that chapter like 10 times, like 10, 15, over and over again. I'm like, I did this room, and they never let me go across the stupid bridge, and I just got upset and stopped. I was like, is it bugged or am I stupid? Probably stupid.
Yeah, most likely. You probably just missed one.
I probably just missed one or something.
that's
but
the
I was
thing,
like,
right?
I feel
Like-
like I can count monkeys.
You know what's weird?
I was
too?
only
It's
like 11.
Zelda games are marketed to like a younger audience, I would say, but like they're very obtuse for children.
I'm
think
24
they're
and I
extremely
can't
obtuse
figure
for
this
children.
shit
It's
out.
so funny because I was
Yeah,
playing
you
for the
always
first
said
time
that.
Ocarina of Time a couple years back because I never played Ocarina on the N64. I got the GameCube version and I was playing it a couple years back, and I had to keep like looking up guides to playing it, and I was like, I think the success of these games and how children can figure this out is you buy this game and you beat your head against this goddamn wall
Yeah.
for weeks on end, and that's the value
sure.
of
So
the
like,
game.
I have not played Ocarina of Time since I was a child.
Yeah.
I own it. I know I have it. My Nintendo 64 is not working currently, and I'm really sad. I'm trying to
Oh,
figure out if I can
tragedy.
bring it to somebody to fix it.
I have
'cause
it on
wanna get a
game.
new
I
one.
have it on GameCube and 64. If you want to borrow the GameCube
I have
one.
two 64s.
You got a lot of
We have
Mike.
options here.
Yeah, but like
Also,
but also
emulation
like mine's
is
like
legal, so-
apparently I didn't even know this. Mine's a special edition. It came with Donkey Kong 64. It's the
Ooh.
see-through green.
Oh, you got that
transparent
one?
Oh,
I got the
ha-
Pikachu
I have
one.
one of those
Yeah,
ones.
I didn't
I
know
have
that
the
that was the
see-through
special
green.
one.
Sorry.
Wait, are you maybe getting rid of it?
No.
Okay.
I also have a yellow one.
But like I want to find someone that can fix it because I think it's just the fucking cable.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Because I bought a new cable and I was like, oh, maybe it's just the cables. Put it in, and like I got it to work once. But it was like one of those things, you know, when you've been working on it forever, you've been turning it off, turning it back on, adjusting it,
Right.
and you turn it on, and you're waiting, and you're like, oh god, it failed again. And I flipped it off, and as I was flipping it off, it popped up with the screen. And I went, oh, and I turned it off.
Oh no! Wait, do you have the see-through green controller too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one
and
of those.
I turned it back on, and it has not gotten back since.
Oh,
Oh,
You wanna-
that's so tragic.
You want to
so-
hear a funny story for N64 that I have? I have the special edition Pikachu one, right?
Right.
Like my uncle got it for me and my sister when we were kids, and we got Pokemon Stadium. So I was always like,
Fucking love
oh,
that game.
this game
So
came
good.
with Pokemon Stadium, and I remember I saw a Reddit comment. Someone was like, oh, it came with Hey You Pikachu and the microphone. I was like, no, it didn't. It came with Pokemon Stadium. And I got in like an online argument. I never really do that, but I
Right.
was like, I know for a fact I didn't have that Hey You Pikachu game.
Right.
Looked it up. Absolutely came with that game and the microphone. Somebody just threw it away with the box.
Oh,
Nice.
Still have the Pikachu on 64 though, which is
In the
cool.
same vein, I will get back to the story in a second. In that same vein, when my parents got me an Xbox 360, you know how like some consoles back in the day, I think they probably still do it, but like they used to come with like a game or two, right?
Yeah.
Like a special package or something.
So my Xbox 360 came with a combo disc. Like it was literally
Yeah,
like
it
one
was,
side
like,
was
one
Halo
side and
3,
the
one
other.
side was Fable 2.
oh my
Yeah.
God!
Yeah.
That's a banger of a disc.
Yeah,
really
so
is.
Wow.
so like it came in that, and the fucking asshole, goddamn GameStop employee, whatever, was like, "Oh, by the way, this has an M-rated game
Oh,
in
what
it."
oh, I hated that
And,
growing up.
and,
I
so,
hated
and,
that.
and
Yeah.
so my mom was
He
like,
took it out of the box.
so my
Friggin'
so my
narc.
mom was like, "Oh, we don't want that." So my thing came with Halo 3, which is an M game, but he took out Fable 2. So
Oh yeah, you're fine.
No,
That's
no,
a good
no,
trade.
No,
that's
because
a good
I
trade.
wanted Fable 2, and I bought
Oh.
Fable 2 later.
Oh, okay.
But like, it was one of those things where I was like, "You got rid of a free game."
What
now,
a
now
scam.
I always look at that game case that says Halo 3 Fable 2 on it, and I'm like,
And I
that
just
is
get so
always
you
open.
just get triggered. You're like, my past traumas cannot be undone.
because then I'd go buy it
It's
later
okay.
in life.
You still got the best game that came out on the.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
100%.
for sure got the better game,
100%. But
Yeah.
like, I just wanted to play Fable 2, dude. When you're a kid, and I didn't know anything about Fable, but like when you're a kid, and that Fable 2 cover art where you see the guy standing over that puddle and the red demon under him, and you're like, I don't know what this is, but I want to play it. By the way,
Also,
you
a free
can't even,
game's a free game.
You can't, yeah, but you can't even play the red devil guy, and that's so upsetting.
Oh.
Like you can never be too evil to get that form, and it's really upsetting.
Ah.
But anyway,
I have a question
I don't like
again.
Fable.
Sorry.
I didn't play any of
as
them.
an outside, like third party
Absolutely.
Yeah.
perspective of
Play it
like
on me.
gaming.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, people would always talk about like PlayStation games or
Uh-huh.
Xbox games, and I never really like quite understood like what the main difference was because I'm like, they're just
Okay.
games.
So
They're just
so
different
let me
companies.
let
Yeah,
me
they're just
let me
but
different
like
explain let me
people
explain
were
to
like
you.
hardcore.
Let me explain the difference. So basically, a majority of games are made and they'll come out on like both systems, right? They'll come out on Xbox, PlayStation, and probably like PC or something. Maybe the Nintendo console.
So why do they?
I,
Let me-
I have the
I'm getting
perfect
there.
I have the
Yeah,
perfect
let me-
analogy for
no,
this.
no, let
It's
me-
sub
let me-
v dub.
No.
No, it is. It's
let me,
Sony-
Let me,
it's-
explain- let me
it's the
let me
same-
let me
Alright.
explain the rest of it.
Right.
But then there's certain games that are console exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Halo only came out on the Xbox,
Okay.
and then like,
Killzone.
Killzone only came out on the PlayStation. So if you like Halo, you have to get the Xbox.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
it was
marketing.
marketing,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
also like you want to convince your friends to get the console you have so you can play together. So it's always like, no, Xbox is the better one. If you get PlayStation, you're done.
What I meant by mine was just like how people fought over it. It's the same arbitrary argument as sub v dub, where
Yeah.
it's just people are choosing a side, and like
Yeah, it's just
you could
personal
only
preference.
really argue one was better than the other. I'd say like back during the PS3, Xbox 360 days, because the PS3 just had issues. But like,
PS3 had
Well, the PS3
issues.
was way too expensive.
yeah, it was too
Way
expensive.
more expensive.
$800.
Game
Aren't they
game
too
developers.
expensive now.
Not like in terms of like the PS3 when it came out was like $700.
And the 360 was like 300.
Yeah.
It was
Oh.
Like consoles, like the consoles that just came out aren't that expensive.
But
So-
also, like, every company that releases a console, they lose money on them. They never make money on consoles. They make money on the back, like the
Like the
backside,
games
like
and
the games
stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because-
So-
and like and the services and whatever you pay for, they lose money on every console they sell.
So what's the console now? Like the Xbox?
The
It's
Xbox-
PS5 and the Xbox Series X
Because-
/S because there's two versions of it.
Because Microsoft hates themselves and
Microsoft hates
refuses
their
They make
consumers.
very dumb-
refuses to
No,
get
actually they don't. They like
refuses to get a fucking convenient naming convention.
It's always really stupid
it's
after the
awful.
360.
The amount
to be
of
fair.
people that bought a there's the Xbox Series X, the very new one,
Right.
and there was the Xbox One X.
Is that
And
different than the
That
Xbox
was the
One?
previous version. It was the Xbox One, and then they made the upgraded version, which is just like newer technology, but the same system. It just like works a little better, a little quieter, a little more compact. The Xbox One X.
And
Okay,
so
that sounds like a scam.
so when
okay.
Series X came out, and there were like pre-orders, there was a thing on Amazon where it showed all of the purchases for Xbox One X's because people didn't realize that the One X and the Series X were two different things.
No.
Because Microsoft is dumb and
Their naming
just
conventions
their
have been
name-
bad
their
for a
naming
little while.
conventions. Yo, like
PlayStation's
man,
super simple.
yeah, just PS5,
PS5.
like like
'Cause it was-
Nintendo.
PlayStation
Nintendo at
has
least
been the
does
same for
Wait,
decades.
so who makes
Yeah.
PlayStation?
Sony.
It's
Oh.
been PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5.
Right.
And
That's
then
how
and,
simple
yeah,
it
and then
is.
like
Yeah.
and it's
But with Xbox, it's been Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Xbox One X, Xbox Series
Wait, was
X,
there nothing
Xbox
in
Series
between the
X, or
Xbox and the
S.
Xbox 360?
Yes,
Yes.
the Xbox was the first console, and then the Xbox 360 was the second console.
this 360
But then
was,
with the third console, they went Xbox One,
Yeah.
which like why?
make
and
Because
they're
it was
naming
supposed
it
to
was supposed to be a one in all.
Yeah, but it
thing.
also looks like a
all in
VCR.
one?
Yeah,
too,
you could use
so-
you
And
could
then-
watch TV through it. You could do all, and honestly,
Like-
to be fair, the original ideas that they put out for the Xbox One were actually really great. People backlashed really hard on it,
Very
but it
hard.
was actually like it
Well,
would
there
have
was
been
that
pretty
stupid
solid.
shit. There was that stupid shit where like you had to have it connect with it, and
Yeah.
you had to like.
Yeah, minus
and
the
then they
Kinect.
also had the thing where like you, like
Wasn't
nobody
the
else
Kinect,
could
like,
use
the
your console.
failed Wii system?
Yeah,
It was like
nobody
it's
else
a
could use your
camera and a
console
microphone
unless
that's
you
on
stood in front
at
of your
you.
Kinect and it like
Yeah,
identified
that
you.
that part was done.
Like that was
Yeah.
stupid.
And they were trying to
That's
to
why Sony
move it
won
to
that
being
generation.
like an all-in-one entertainment system, and people were like, dude, we're here for the video games and the Netflix app.
Right.
That's all
That's
we
it.
really care about.
yeah, but then like you also got like Nintendo, which just does their own thing every time. You know?
And
you got the
Nintendo does great.
You got the 64, the GameCube, the
Nintendo,
Wii,
yeah, Nintendo does
the
their own
Switch.
thing.
Like, but
and they hate
so-
their customers, and it's awesome.
Yeah, they really, they
Wait,
really
why
do
do they
hate
hate their customers?
because
Their
they
customers want.
give their customers. They
Nothing.
never give their customers
The
what they want.
customers are just like,
and it's
hey,
amazing.
dude,
Hey,
if they
remember that really good game from like 10 years ago? There's no convenient way to play it. You don't sell it anymore. If you could just like put it on the
That's the one thing
virtual
I hate that they
consoles
fucking
for
do.
this, I just want to be able to download it on the Switch and play, you know, like a Pokemon Emerald or something.
Dude,
And
even
they're
if
like,
they
That
no,
is the
go
one
buy the
thing-
cartridge secondhand.
Even if
Sage,
they, even if
that
they
is
did
the one thing.
$5.
That is the one thing I absolutely hate about Nintendo, because Nintendo usually makes pretty quality products.
Right.
They have like a standard
Like
of
I still have
quality.
a Game Boy Color. That's
yeah,
how quality.
they
it
have a
is.
standard of quality that they always live up to. But one thing that I absolutely despise that they do is they do not care about preservation at all. So like it is you have to fucking hop, skip, and jump through a flaming hoop with one arm in order to play Ocarina of Time today.
unless
Like,
you
it's
have it
awful.
for the
No,
original
No, they have the
console.
3DS copy, but
Yeah,
that's
but how many people
still-
have a 3DS?
I still have
You know what
mine.
I mean? Like the amount of stuff like they just don't give a shit about preservation.
Like if they
So
if
like
they put
anything
all of
from
the
their previous console generation is a fucking nightmare to try and play today.
But so they never update anything to like
no, it's
go
not that they
into the
don't
new
update
game?
anything.
They
It's
use-
not
they
that
don't do that
update
really
anything.
either, though.
It's not that they don't update anything. It's the fact that they don't bring their older things to newer generations.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
yeah,
like
like
they don't.
like the
But
Xbox,
like an
the
update
Xbox and
implies, an update
PlayStation.
implies that they like do something different with it. Like,
Like
no,
they-
no,
like
no.
they
I
fix
mean
the
like they
graphics or
don't
something.
bring it to the new
No,
console.
not at
no,
all.
they don't do that. No.
Like
Very
Xbox
rarely
and
they do it.
PlayStation,
So
you can
anytime
get
you wanna
every
play-
game that they've ever made for the most part on
and
like
then
an
when they
Xbox Series
do
X.
it, and Sage, and then when they do it, it's always timed. Like recently, they just did a 3-pack of Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, I
So
got
they
it.
put that out into like a collection, and they
Right.
only made it available for like 6 months, and now it's completely off the marketplace, and you can't play it anymore.
Well,
Like,
you can
can't
still
buy
Yeah,
it?
if you
buy
bought
the physical.
if you bought it
There's
beforehand.
a physical?
There was a physical for it.
Is there still a physical for it?
I'm sure there's copies of it exist.
But it's probably
still-
ludicrously expensive.
Go
But
check
like,
it. I'll
so
check
my
Amazon.
point was like, the amount of money people would pay if they put like every Zelda, even if they didn't update them, if they put every Zelda game in like a collection,
Right.
people would pay like $300 for that.
I would
shit.
pay.
Like,
I would buy it.
Like
I would.
But like I
Yeah, currently
personally,
available on Amazon. so
See?
you'd probably have to buy it like
Secondhand.
You probably gotta buy.
hand,
You
yeah.
probably gotta dig through your
like
your
eBay.
local game shop's asshole.
no,
to
but like
find it.
also
Like,
the amount of money that people would pay just for like a fucking remastered version of a lot
So
of
here-
games. But like people would just pay all the money for a non-remastered collection of old games. Like
Yeah.
Right.
they just refuse.
So, my favorite. Well, okay. So, my two of my favorite game series of all time, like top 5, are Zelda and Metroid, both made by Nintendo. So, Metroid, right, has gotten the shit end of the stick for a while now.
Right.
Because Metroid's been around since like 1988, right? So they had Metroid and then Metroid 2, and then it went on like a 7-year hiatus. So in the 90s came Super Metroid, and then after that was another fucking hiatus. So but basically what I'm saying is Nintendo. Oh, I think I just unplugged the mic.
What? No.
No, I didn't. I'm good. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so Nintendo only releases Metroid games for the consoles that like they were out for. So like trying to play Metroid Zero Mission right now, which is my favorite Metroid, well, you can only play it on the Game Boy Advance. There's no way you can play it now.
Stop it.
There's no way you can play it now.
You can
You can
if
emulate
own the
it,
game,
but
you
that's
can emulate
technically
it.
illegal.
No,
Right.
if you own it, it's not illegal.
Yeah, but how are they gonna know you own it? They're gonna send you a cease and desist.
I've never gotten a cease and desist, but yeah.
Well, I mean, like, you're probably not gonna get a cease and desist
Yeah.
because you're one in like thousands of people that are doing it. But
Like,
like
I was doing that-
technically, it's illegal.
Yeah, like currently I'm emulating Mega Man Battle Network because I own Mega Man Battle Network for the GBA. I have the cartridge, it's upstairs. I have
Slammer of a game.
I also have like 5 copies of every Pokemon Game Boy Advance game.
Wait,
Slammer
do
of
you
a
still
game, by
have
the
your
way.
copy of the one only in Japanese?
Oh
What is
yeah, I
that,
have
green
my
or-
Pokemon Green in Japanese in the box.
in the
That's
box.
rad.
You got
Yeah.
it at Anime Next?
I think that was one where I got it. Yeah.
It's really cool.
I remember
Yeah.
when you bought
I
them.
also have a Japanese copy of Blue out of the box.
Do you have red in the box or no?
I don't have red in the box. I have red. I have American Blue, and then I have 2 copies of Gold, Silver, Crystal. I have
What
2
a
copies of
fucking
Ruby, 2
loser.
copies of Sapphire, 2 copies of Emerald, Leaf Green, Fire Red. I have 1 copy of
This
each.
is too much. This is too
I
much
I
Pokemon.
sure have Leaf Green
No,
and
Colin
then
is,
Diamond
like-
and Pearl and then
I don't own any Pokemon.
No.
Sun and Moon
Anthony,
and Sword and Shield.
When Colin and I used to go to anime conventions when it was still legal to go to them,
Yeah.
Legal.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
when we used to go, he would just like we would walk around the dealer's room and he would just scour around the booths that had like
Hero.
video games and he would literally just creep and creep and creep and creep and then Sunday came and he would wait for all the sales and he'd be like, are you selling my game? Are you selling my game? Are you selling my game? And then he would find like one person who was selling the game he wanted and it would never be on discount and he'd be like, okay, I'll shell out the $100 for this game.
It was only usually like $60 to $80. But that's not that bad because
That's not terrible.
because I'd buy like Ruby Sapphire, I'd be like cool, and then I'd be like, ooh, this version has this one right here. It has a better sticker. The sticker's not worn out. So
yeah,
I'm gonna buy
Colin would be
that.
like,
Colin.
this one is more
Oh my
mint.
God, Colin.
I'm so glad I've never been like that.
yeah,
I'm
not
only
a
like that with
collector at
like
all.
Game Boy cartridges. It's not true. I collect too
I
many
was gonna say,
things.
don't you lie to me.
Don't you like looks at the amiibo collection in the background.
Long
I'm
story
Okay.
short,
so glad I
long story
never got
short,
that.
Sage.
I
long
like
story short-
amiibos.
long story short, game preservation is a real problem.
Right.
With Nintendo.
With I think with everybody.
Yeah, that's
honestly.
fair.
Game preservation is an awful
Xbox
problem.
is very big about making sure everything is available.
Yeah,
They
Sony's
try their
not.
hardest
Like-
to make sure
PlayStation
everything's
tricked me
available.
because when they announced the PS5, they were like, "Oh, it's gonna have full backwards compatibility."
sure
I got
did.
so excited
For
'cause
PS4.
I have I have
No,
a
it was
crate
originally
full of
everything.
PS2 games.
That's
And
how
I-
they
Right.
said it.
Yeah.
And I
Oh.
love PS2 games. Like that was like an era of like RPGs and stuff I grew up on and got me like really into RPGs. So I have like a crate of them over there. And I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to get a PS5, play all these because my PS2 crapped out when I was playing Persona 4 and I
I
had to
have
buy a
one.
new one. I just also don't like playing on the PS2 because it's so old and it doesn't
Oh, I
work
still
as
love
well.
It's
playing my
antiquated.
You can
PS2.
have my one.
Compared
I-
to like
I
the
have
PS4
I have
now,
3.
it's
2 of
antiquated.
them are broken.
Okay, I
lo-
have one that works that I've never used.
Oh,
Okay.
you'll give him the PS2, but you won't give me the Nintendo 64?
Because I don't use the PS2.
What do you play on the Nintendo 64? You say you only play StarCraft.
Pokemon Stadium.
Great game.
When was the last time you played Pokemon Stadium?
I don't know, maybe 15 years ago.
Exactly.
I've also got all the first
Yeah,
3
hold
Mario
on.
Party
Can
games.
Can
for
I have a
N64.
small little rant real
Ooh.
quick?
Should do that sometime.
We
Go
should.
ahead, Mike.
A small little rant.
Go for it.
Say your truth, King.
Okay, so Pokemon Gale of Darkness and Pokemon Coliseum.
You lost me.
You didn't like Coliseum?
No, listen to the rest.
Okay, I'm sorry.
How dare you? Those games are the greatest Pokemon games
Yes,
ever created, ever. And they have never made any more
Nope.
since the GameCube versions.
Nope.
And it is ungodly infuriating.
Yeah,
They
Hey,
have a-
Mike. Hey, Mike. Can you play Pokemon Coliseum on any modern Nintendo console right now?
Only on the GameCube.
Thank you.
And you want
Thank you.
to buy a GameCube version of the Coliseum because I didn't have it originally and needed
No,
to buy
Mike,
it
how
later.
much would it cost?
It cost me $120.
Oh
There you
my
go.
god.
So that's the
Just
problem.
just do what I do and work at a used video game and movie store and wait until somebody brings it in and offer them $20 outside.
Luckily, I did
That's
have.
why I have both copies.
Luckily,
in
I
my
did have
crate
Gale of
games.
Darkness. But like those games are so fucking good, including the soundtracks. My God, I love everything about both of them wholeheartedly.
but they're like
and
hard to come by.
I just
Yeah.
want.
They are.
I just want a third one, or at the very least,
Just
they
put
will
'em
never.
back
They
on
will
the
never do
Switch
it
or something.
But like put it
Nintendo
on
will
the Switch.
spit upon
yeah,
your
they will
So,
never
Mike,
do it.
I've never
But
played.
I want a third, and I really, really thought.
While we're talking about
Arceus-
those games, can we just talk about how the in the first game the female a companion character, she really looked like a dog. Like the 3D models were so not there yet. She looked like a dog. I'm gonna pull
Yeah,
it up.
pull it up. I don't.
So,
remember.
Mike,
but like,
Mike, let me ask you something. As someone who has never played Coliseum, what separated it from like a regular Pokemon game?
it was
Like, what
it was
the difference?
basically like
Completely
open world
different
RPG.
Yeah, you didn't like catch the Pokemon the same way. You had to beat trainers who had
Shadow
shadow Pokemon, and then you had to steal the Pokemon from them. You had a
Yeah.
special device that let you steal Pokemon.
And then you would put them in a thing to like de-shadowfy them. and
It's
then you
kind
could
of like
level
in
'em up and
Pokemon
stuff.
Go when you
you
like
have to
purify
purify
the
Shadow
Team
Pokemon.
Rocket's Pokemon.
It was incredible. Soundtracks were great. Best Boy with a fucking Pokemon afro that would dance at you when you played against him and had the greatest soundtrack. But like, it was basically open world Pokemon before Arceus is now a thing. And like,
Well, Sword and Shield's open world.
yeah, but not in the same way.
But this was also like
This was also during the GameCube
Oh,
era.
how unfortunate.
Can
It's
show
just
me
like
again?
it was the middle ground of
Oh.
like when
Oh, yeah.
3D models were
How
starting to get
unfortunate.
there.
yeah, but they
But
looked
just
like
r-
kind of really terrible.
What game
Uh,
is that from?
That's from Coliseum.
Gale of Darkness was significantly better.
Yes,
looking.
Gale of Darkness had like
Coliseum
a
was on the
graphical
GameCube,
upgrade.
right?
Both of
Yeah,
them were.
both of them.
Gale of Darkness
Both
and
of them
Coliseum.
were. Okay.
And they're
I,
like
I
as one's a
forgot
sequel
how
of the
bad
other.
that looked.
But Gale of Darkness, I think, still holds up. I mean, if you want to just pull up the main character. or
Oh,
something. Like,
absolutely
Even
it
the
does.
design of him is better.
Is Gale of Darkness a sequel?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like less blocky.
Yeah, it's less blocky. It's more like smooth.
Yeah, more like
Um,
actual like
More
human.
polygons.
Yeah, and when they announced Arceus, I was like, oh my god, please tell me that this is everything I wanted.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't.
No, it's set
It
in the,
sure
what
isn't.
it?
I'm still
The
very
Leto
excited for
period
it.
No,
or
like
whatever?
that would have been fine. I didn't care if it was another thing, but I just like, I wanted the game that was like that, and it sure
Careful.
it sure
It looks
wasn't. Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot
that
better.
definitely looks better.
and it sure wasn't. And
It's less jarring.
it's really sad, and I fucking love.
I'm
those
sorry that
games.
you're going through this crisis of faith.
You
Like,
poor thing.
Also, I'll throw this hot take out into the internet. I do not like Ocarina of Time. I think it's a pretty dog shit game. It
Really?
Looks it's awful. It's awful to look at. It is
It
not.
was made in '96.
Super
Mike.
Super Mario 64 came out 2 years before it, and it is infinitely nicer to look at.
No, it didn't.
No,
Yeah,
it
it is.
is not.
Ocarina
Man,
of Time
Super Mario
looks like
64
gray
did not come out
blob.
in 1994.
It came out 2 years before it. Look it
No,
up. Look it up
didn't.
right now.
Oh, wait,
it
then
came
maybe,
out before
maybe,
it.
Maybe Ocarina of Time came out in '98.
Look it up right now.
Which
Super
one am I
Mario
looking
64
at?
came out in
Super
96.
Mario 64 release date and Ocarina of Time. Super Mario 64 came out, I
Okay,
believe,
first
before it.
off, Super Mario 64 does not look better than Ocarina of
No,
Time.
it
looks
doesn't.
the same.
Ocarina of Time is
They're
a
two different
gray
art styles.
64 blob.
64 came out in 96.
It looks like a gray blob.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. It is so
How do you
shitty to
say
look
it's
at.
Gray.
Wait.
Yeah.
As a third party who doesn't have any reference, can I please see two comparisons
Yes,
so I
I
can
will.
objectively
Ocarina
say
came out in 98.
How do you say
Thank you.
Ocarina of Time is a dog shit game?
Because
Okay.
it's not good.
I don't know what the hell
Majora's
you're
Mask
talking
is an
about.
infinitely
because
better
it didn't
game.
age
Oh,
all that
just
well.
because Majora's Mask is
Majora's
better.
Mask is a better game.
You think Majora's Mask is better?
Wow, I'm
had-
getting way too heated about this. I need to like,
Ocarina-
take a shower.
You don't think,
Ocarina is
you
like
don't think
the-
Majora's Mask is a better game?
Not at all.
Oh my
No way.
god.
I
Wind
never beat
Waker's a
Majora's
better
Mask,
game than Majora's
so
Mask.
I can't really give you that.
Do you not
comparison.
like Wind Waker?
Wind Waker's a better game than Majora's Mask.
Right, but you
So
said
yes, I like
but-
Wind Waker.
But you said that like Wind Waker was bad.
Oh, did I? Okay,
You were like,
Wind
it's
Waker's
better
a
than
better
Majora's
game.
Mask, and I was
Well,
like, well, it's a great
It
game.
is, but
Wait.
No, that's why I was like,
I'm
Wind Waker's
coming.
a great game. What do you
Pass this
mean?
over. Okay, so this is like.
Oh, bye. It's
Not
okay.
really.
This is like
Look,
a
that's
shot
gorgeous.
of.
That doesn't look bad.
This is
Not at all.
1998, by the way. This
That
was
doesn't-
pushing the boundaries.
For 98, that doesn't look bad
Yeah,
at all.
not at all. Plus, you had Half-Life that came out
For,
that year, which like really broke boundaries.
Yeah.
Wow,
I think Ocarina of Time is
I
just so
noticed
bad.
that.
You just noticed you're a nerd?
I,
just noticed I'm a
I do
fucking
I do
nerd.
know at
How
some
long
point
did that take you, Anthony?
And
30
this is
seconds.
Super Mario 64.
They
Oh,
both look
fuck
good.
you, Mike.
They both look good.
infinitely more vibrant and better to look
No,
at.
no,
Wait,
wait,
they're two
hold,
different art
hold,
styles.
Hold,
But
please.
it's grayscale for fucking
Wait,
Ocarina of
come
Time.
on.
It's
What are
not
you
pleasing to
talking
look
about?
at.
Sage,
hold,
please.
Hold, please.
Please.
Okay, so for Mario 64, you're correct in that it's way more of a vibrant like color palette, but a lot of things have literally the same texture. There's no like differentiation in texture. Whereas Ocarina
Yeah, you
of
can only do
Time,
so much
from
with
what
the
you just showed
hardware.
me, the one like picture you just showed
Yeah.
me, there's while like obviously it's not there yet in like the 3D modeling, but there's way more texture and like depth. Whereas in Mario 64, things look more flat because it's all like
Because it was
one
cartoonish.
feeling.
I mean,
No,
I would
and
also argue
think
that
about
it's
it.
just
Think
the
about it
pictures that are
tonally.
shown.
Think about it tonally too. Mario 64 is like vibrant, happy, like.
I understand
out of
the
this world.
tone is different.
Ocarina of Time is about the death of the world.
No, but like it's just
like,
so
like,
grayscale.
It's like literally about the death
But,
of
like,
the world.
all-
Like,
But it didn't seem grayscale.
but
to
also,
me.
like,
more
when-
muted. Is that the word you're looking for?
Sure, yeah.
Because it's definitely not gray.
But like, because I know at some point I got to Adult Link in that game. I have no memory how. I don't know how
go
or
to the
where I
Temple of
was.
Time, bro.
No. I know how the
Oh,
game
okay.
works. But I mean, like, as a memory of my kid self playing that game, I know I made it to Adult Link. I
I
have
stumbled upon Adult Link.
I know I have no idea where I am at in the game, where I'm like, because I remember like when my N64 did work, and I put that game back on, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna find out where I am in this game. I want to beat it,
Yeah.
and was like walking around, and was like, wow, I can't figure out what I was doing. I was like, I think I tried finding out what mission or where I was in the game for like 2 hours, and I could not find out where
Like
I
I
was.
said, dude, I'm telling you, Zelda games are way too obtuse for children.
Yeah, honestly,
For
if
children,
you
they're
lose where
obtuse
you,
as
if you
fuck.
lose where you are, that's it. You have to run around
Like, as
until
an
you
adult,
find like,
like, it's
something
easy.
small, and then you have to go through a like a fact guide on like GameFAQs or
Yeah.
something until
Oh my
you
God,
find it.
GameFAQs.
No, literally-
GameFAQs saved my life as
Oh
a
my
child
God,
when I
GameFAQs,
finally
that's a
had like the
blast
internet to
from the
get.
past.
Did anyone hit up the solidcheatcc.com when you were like playing like San Andreas and
No.
shit?
Solid cheat.
I mean, yeah, no,
Cheats?
I just use like
just cheatcc.com.
no, I
Cheats,
used
yeah.
GameFAQs for cheats.
Oh, no, I used to hit
Oh,
up
I used to use Game
Wait,
cheatcc.com.
was-
Informer or GameSpot.
Oh wait, which one's Game Informer? It was like the magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so my brothers used to get those when
I
they
used to
were.
get I used to
Yeah,
get them
same.
too.
Yeah, except I did not play video games, but I liked to take them because I thought the pictures were very pretty.
Yeah.
I love that. That's I love that.
I
Yeah.
used to, I
Did
usually-
not get any useful information.
No,
out
you
of
know
them.
it's really interesting seeing things from like a different perspective of somebody who's like played games for all their lives, and then you're just being like, no, I really liked like the way they looked and
Like-
the art styles and
like
stuff.
as someone who's only started playing Breath of the Wild, my favorite Zelda game is Twilight Princess because I think it looks the prettiest.
It's a delightful
it's-
game.
it's-
like
it's
my
beautiful.
That art
absolute
style
favorite
is
Zelda.
so gorgeous.
It's so good,
that
dude.
even if I never play it, I will stick to that like decision.
And you want to talk about a Zelda that has muted colors? That's Twilight Princess
Oh,
to a T.
but it
But
that
works-
game,
but
that
it's like,
game is
it-
about
but it
it's
death
works
and
so much
so
more
well.
expressive.
Oh, shit.
You know what it is? It's from what I've seen of it, it's very.
But I also don't want to compare them because I'm just like, it's obviously better graphics. So
right,
I'm like,
Yeah.
but it's not even that. It's very muted, but it's like everything is so like on the same like wavelength and tone that it works really well. So even if the graphics are better, like from what I saw for Ocarina of Time, I just don't think like the artistic direction was like fully there yet to like kind of get that general
like to
concept.
me, Majora's Mask is infinitely prettier to look at.
Well, even Majora's Mask is a darker game by comparison.
Yeah, but like it's much more pleasing to look at to me than like Ocarina of Time is. Like I just usually am like.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I
it came
think
out what
there's
2
an
years later.
imbalance.
So yeah, I mean, there's got to be
think-
graphical
I
advancement.
think what it is there's
Did
an
it?
imbalance in like tints and tones of like the color palette, and that like some things are like a little bit too bright, whereas other things are a little bit too dark, and they don't like fit each other, if that makes sense. Like they don't complement each other.
Right.
Whereas like Twilight Princess, everything fits so well in like one color story and like color palette, and just like the array of textures just really like complement each other and go really well. Whereas that's also like have to do with better graphics, whereas Ocarina of Time, the graphics are really not there yet. So
Yeah.
everything is either, oh, this is like rock texture and it's like this. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's, like,
mean?
jagged, yeah,
right?
for sure,
Or
for
like
sure.
this is like smooth cloth texture.
A great
Yeah.
video that I really like.
Real quick, Majora's Mask came out in 2000, so it was 2 years later.
Okay. I
Yeah.
wasn't saying you were wrong. I was just curious when it came out.
No,
But
confirming.
a really good video that I personally like that talks about Ocarina of Time and it compares it to Link to the Past, I believe, is Sequelitis by Egoraptor.
Oh yeah, the first video essay.
No, he did a bunch of them.
Yeah.
That was just the
No, I mean
most
like
popular
like
one.
him like yeah.
Yeah,
familiar with
Sequelitis I really enjoyed.
Kinda
I liked
started
his Mega
those.
Man ones, and I really liked his Ocarina of Time one. And like a lot of the points he made, like I agreed with. So like, if anyone wants to, my like a kind of how I look at it, you can go watch that video. It's great, even if you disagree. I mean, it's still a good video. But like when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, these are kind of how I feel. It's just a hell of a lot better put into words than I'm me being like,
More
I think it
eloquently
looks
put.
bad. Yeah.
And you know what the problem is too is that a lot of Zelda games I feel like kind of maybe this might be like a moot point, but like a lot of Zelda games I feel like can't really reach their true potential because Nintendo makes their console hardware so weak.
What
They
do you-
know what I mean?
they really do.
So like when the Wii came out, like the technology behind it, so like comparatively to like the PS3 and Xbox 360, the Wii console framework, like the graphics card, the sound, everything about it was objectively worse.
It didn't even have an
Oh,
HDMI
okay.
cable.
It was worse. So like
not up
Twilight
to
Princess
snuff.
by today's standards is an extremely ugly game.
Oh, okay.
If I'm being real. When it came out, it was really pretty, and I still think there are parts of it that hold up today. And I think a lot of that has to do with the game's tone and narrative and how like it's muddy. It's a really muddy game.
Right.
And it's very like gray. It's very gray and like kind of dystopian a little
Muted.
bit. But that works to the game's benefit, I think, because that's what the game is about. The game is tonally about like, you know, Hyrule dying. Like
Right.
that's what it and, like you saving Zelda and all that stuff. But that's like every fucking Zelda game ever.
I was gonna say.
But no, this one was especially interesting because it really took that like narrative and applied it to its art style. Ocarina did the same thing, but like obviously the technology wasn't there yet. Whereas Twilight Princess like it was a game that like really embraced like the show don't tell visual storytelling, which I really appreciate about it.
Right.
And one thing that I really like about it. But even with the Wii's like awful hardware, like it still managed to pull off like a great looking game.
right.
Great looking game for like its time, right? Because now you have like Breath of the Wild, which is
Incredible.
Like yeah,
Oh
like,
my God.
like you compare like Twilight Princess, which comes to mind as the prettiest game on that, at least currently that I can think of, as like the Wii's top.
Like Magnum.
Watch me be proven wrong by like anyone in the comments that watches this, but like that's the
don't know.
first that's the
I
first one that
think that-
comes to mind at least, and
Yeah.
like, and then you look at like Halo 3, which
still looks good today.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
still
like
looks
I
good.
have no
Absolutely.
idea when comparably those came out. I know
Same year.
I
They came out the same year.
did they? Because
Yeah,
I know it was also
2007.
because I know Twilight Princess was on the GameCube too.
No, 2007.
Yeah.
All right,
Came out the
so
same year.
yeah, like
Same
it's
year as
just
Twilight.
Same year as Twilight.
so like,
Oh,
but like
shit.
they always underpower their consoles, and like a perfect example of recent time is the Switch.
Right.
They were like, hey, here's the OLD one that nobody really cares about, and they're like, and some people were like trying to make the point that like maybe they just can't make the Switch like better, you
What's
know?
OLD?
OLED.
It's just like a better
OLED.
screen.
It's like
just a better
it's
screen.
just
It's
a slightly better screen,
Yeah,
but
it's
it
just
still
nicer.
doesn't give you like 1080p resolution.
Yeah, but like
I don't know. This looks pretty crispy to me.
Yeah, that's 720p.
yeah, it might be
resolution?
under
Yeah.
that too. I don't remember.
Looks pretty crispy to me.
I thought it was
I
900.
think it works for it. Like I never had a issue with that.
But like
aspect
yeah,
of
because
it,
that's like
but
the first game that came out, so it's fine. It runs on it fine. But
like games now.
yeah,
don't
but like
do good.
they like it cannot run games coming out for it now. It's not great.
It
and like
stutters.
it's really
bad.
bad. So like people were like, oh, maybe they just like can't get the better technology for like a better Switch. And then immediately
About a week
Steam,
later.
yeah, like a week later, Steam was like, "Hey, here's the Switch, but for Steam, and it has all the better specs that you would have wanted out of a new Switch."
You
Steam
see, it was
is
running
the
Jedi
PC.
Fallen Order at like 60
Right,
FPS
right.
undocked, and I was like, oh my
and,
god.
and it was like immediately like, "Hey, Nintendo, that thing that you totally could have done but aren't, we're gonna do it now and steal all that
That's how I
market."
played Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yeah, with Steam.
With
Yeah.
Steam.
So
Yeah.
they
That's
they
the
made
biggest
they
online
made
gaming platform right now.
yeah they made the Switch.
And that's how I played. How do you call it?
Nekopara?
StarCraft.
Oh, StarCraft? Really? On Steam?
Wait, no. Is that
No,
how
that's
I
with
bought
the-
it?
that's
that's with the
probably
Blizzard
Battle.net.
launcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Battle.net.
But like yeah,
But is
that's,
that not how I bought it? From Steam?
No.
No.
I thought.
Different launcher, different company.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
That's
So
it.
Steam just went, "Hey, here's a Switch, but infinitely better."
Also, I think the best way to explain like why Nintendo's just behind on this, Nintendo Online, when you go to like their servers and you know the computers that they run it all on at their headquarters or whatever, it runs on Windows 98.
Stop it. No, it doesn't.
serious?
Yes, it. I think it's
I didn't
98.
know
The
that.
framework is
it-
based off
it
98.
Okay. thank
Why?
you.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Because
Because Nintendo's
2021.
fucking cheap,
no, because
dude.
do you know
How,
how like
cheap can they be? They're like a multi-billion
no,
dollar company.
Sage, you know how like Japanese bureaucracy with like businesses, it's like, oh, we don't change things because
Oh,
this
it's
is
a
what my
literal
boss,
hellscape.
Yeah, but Sony
This
is
is what
also
my
a
boss
Japanese
did, so I have
company.
to respect them and do but
Well, Sony's
Sony knows how to
antiquated
make
in different ways, I think.
Yeah.
Sony knows how to make money. Nintendo says fuck you if you're a fan.
Yeah.
It's really infuriating. Like, because there was a moment where I was like, you know what, maybe they can't upgrade it, and then Steam was
No,
like,
Nintendo
"Here
is
you go."
so set in their ways. They are so
That's
on
why
their
Nintendo.
when you were
path.
like
they just
oh, should I
don't
get a
care.
Switch? And when you, on the podcast my name was on,
Right.
and we were like, you should just wait for them to announce a new one.
The only ways
well, I
they
didn't do
meaningfully,
that.
the only ways that Nintendo meaningfully innovates is in their games.
Yeah.
Which to be fair,
They are the most
Is-
creative in game wise.
not even that. It's like, well, yes, first off they are, but like
And
the
their
only way they
systems.
meaningfully innovate is in gaming, is in like their actual games. Which, to be fair, is a sensible way to go, right? Because that is their main product.
And
is
they're the most out there with their
right?
systems too.
Yeah.
I mean, the Switch is incredible. It's nothing it's not something like Sony or Xbox would have
The
done.
Wii is still one of the best-selling consoles of all time.
Yeah,
I
like,
think it is the best selling.
yeah, they
console.
are
No,
the-
it's the
I think it's the
PS2.
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 they
Yeah,
are the
PS2.
most like they are the most experimental.
Right.
And whether it,
For
for,
sure.
for better or
'Cause
worse,
wasn't
like the
the
Wii
Wii
U was
U
awful.
like
when you-
a-
because
wasn't
when
the
you
Wii
look
U
at-
was
like
a
a
commercial
flop?
failure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when you look at the Xbox and the PS, and when you look at Xbox and PlayStation, right, you can see like a trajectory of it just looking the same. Where
Right,
they
like
just
a
have, where it
path.
just has better hardware, right?
Right.
Because you go from Xbox to 360 to Xbox One, they all look like fucking VCRs.
Right.
Right. That's what they all look like, right? You go from PlayStation, they all have like the same general framework, besides the PS4 and 5, where they have like their own like unique designs,
And the
right?
Xbox
PS5
Series.
But
looks
they're
like
all the same-
Seto Kaiba's collar.
And the
Yeah.
Series X is like
but
a
here's
fridge.
the thing, right? They all have the same basic framework, which is a box.
Right.
Right? Like a console, right? But then you have like Nintendo, where they consistently innovate on
Right.
now, granted,
Especially the
some of it does not land.
Right.
Like the Nintendo 64 controller.
Literally
which
the
is,
worst.
Which is God's curse onto Earth.
Yeah.
But then
Doing
you
the
have
fucking
But then,
spin
Yeah,
on that.
but then you
God's
have the
curse to Earth.
GameCube controller,
But then you have GameCube controller,
is
which is
perfect.
one
which
of
is
the
the
greatest
most
controllers
perfect
ever made.
controller in the
But when
world.
you look at all of their console designs, the only one you can objectively say is like a box is the GameCube,
right.
right? Well, the Wii too.
I was
going
gonna
to
say the Wii U or the Wii, but
the Wii to an extent, because
Right.
the Wii is like, but it's got that like curve, that like nice sleek like skyscraper curve kind of thing.
Right.
the
Yeah.
Wii U was objectively just like a DVD player.
And also, it has like the motion controls too. But
Right.
then when you get like the Wii U, like where you can play games undocked, like
Right.
from your thing, and you can like play on the screen and like move anywhere throughout your house. And the same thing with the Switch. But with the Switch, you have like the main thing, and then you have
It's
the
like
two Joy-Cons.
more like clean.
It's cleaner. You have the
Yeah.
two Joy-Cons, and you can take off, and immediately you have a second controller.
Right.
It's like they have all these cool technology innovations, but they refuse to get with the times when it's like upgrading their hardware. And to be fair, a lot of their games are very like not graphically intensive. Because when you look at like a PS5 game, right, you
Right.
can see that the game's like texture work, which is basically like how the environments look.
Like, you ever
how
see anything from
detailed they
Last of
are.
Us?
No.
Okay, but it looks like a real life.
Yeah, The Last of Us 2 is an
Like
example.
Uncanny Valley kind
No,
of.
no, no, like
deal?
good.
Yeah, no.
No,
kinda.
I don't mean that in a
she's
bad
right.
way.
She's
I
absolutely
mean
right.
like
Oh,
it's
like-
artificial, but it looks.
It's
Oh, yes.
photorealistic.
Yeah,
Right.
It's photorealistic. But where you go into Uncanny Valley is in the facial animations.
Right,
but
that's
we
what
can
I
talk about
mean.
that later. But because when you look at Nintendo's games, they don't look particularly graphically intensive. Like the texture work isn't all that anything to write home
It doesn't
about.
look real, but I also don't
No, but
think
here's
any
the
of the
thing.
games are meant to look like
No,
that.
that's the
That's
thing.
the
That's the
point.
thing.
Right.
That's what we're
Exactly.
saying.
Right.
The games, the reason the games look good are their art styles.
Right.
Because there's a difference between texture work and art style.
Right.
Right? Because The Last of Us has a very distinct art style that looks photorealistic. It looks like you're in real life. And the control schemes and the facial animations and the writing all reflect that. Right?
Right.
That's like the aesthetic of the game. Whereas Nintendo is solely focused usually on gameplay. Like if you play a Super Mario game, you're not playing it for the fucking story. It's the same story every
Right,
time.
of
Bowser
course.
kidnaps Princess Peach. You have to go rescue her, but you're going through like all of these vibrant, exciting worlds to do so. Right.
Right.
Zelda has more of a lore and more of a story, but that's because it was built from the ground up to have that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the reason Nintendo games look great is because of their art styles, the way their aesthetics look.
Very
It's the
stylistic.
it's the coloring, it's the saturation, or that's the same thing. It's the coloring.
No, saturation's different.
Well, like the
More
same umbrella
nuance.
topic.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
That I'm trying to like.
I understand what you're
name,
saying.
You know what I'm saying? So like it's the visual aesthetic of the game.
It's why
rather
it's
than
why
the
Wind
way-
Waker does
rather
so
than
well.
like the nitty gritty of how the game looks, rather than the texture work or the lighting or whatever. I mean, Nintendo games still have pretty great.
But
lighting,
like Wind Waker, like
Wind Waker still looks good today.
yeah, like it still looks good because it's
great
cell
today.
shaded. Where you put it Twilight Princess, which came out after it, and you're like, it does not.
But
look
cell
great.
shading is an absolute cheat code because cell
no,
shading
yeah,
is
no, I
never
know.
gonna not
But
look
like,
great.
so,
Like,
but like the point of it is like, Breath of the Wild for you currently on this regular Switch
Right.
works fine because
Yeah.
it came out when the Switch came out.
Right.
So they knew the limitations.
but
Breath
the
of the
thing
Wild
is that, yeah,
2
Breath of the Wild didn't have enough time to age.
Well, yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
like,
it still looks
but
good
I mean,
because
like,
it's-
but that there's going to be no struggle. She was saying
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
she didn't notice anything wrong with it, and I'm saying
No, yeah,
you
for sure.
wouldn't notice anything wrong with it. It was made to work there.
it's still within that recent, like, it's too early to be like, oh, this game doesn't look as good anymore. You know what I mean?
Or
Right.
run bad. Like so,
Yeah.
the point was being that like we keep saying like we want a more powerful Switch, is because like Breath of the Wild 2 or any new games will probably be pushing the system that it won't be able to run it very well. It'll
Oh.
it'll
Like
stutter.
lag?
It will like pixelate sometimes. It'll probably lag. Now they are making it knowing that there's only the Switch, so I guess they might limit it in certain capacities. But
Yeah.
like, if you just had a more powerful system, you could do more of the things and not worry about it. Which is why
Right.
people are like, just give a new powerful system so it'll
I mean,
run it.
I don't see why they wouldn't just make it on the same engine with the same.
No, I
stuff
mean, they
as the
probably
first
are,
one.
but they
that's the
also
thing,
are. They're
but that's how they develop
expanding it.
sequels.
yeah,
But like, I mean, but they're making it bigger, and so like, if Switch is already having issues with certain games now, Breath of the Wild works fine now. But if they're gonna make it twice as big,
Well, that's the thing. It's like
It's
that's
just
how
like
they
time's
have to
gonna
decide. They have to decide how to render the game, because they're obviously not going to render the whole world at
Right.
once. You'll be sitting there for 48 years with those load times.
So-
You know what I mean?
Something else I wanted to say before we got into this whole tangent was also just another thing of like Nintendo just hates money, I guess, because it's like if they put Pokemon Emerald on the store for like every console, like the virtual console store, I could just like download it on whatever console. I would have bought it 5 times by now. And there's so many people who want the third Mother game to be localized because it was never released outside of Japan.
my God.
It was a Japanese exclusive game. They never released it outside of Japan,
Yeah.
but people just want Mother 3. Just give us an English version is what people claim. I've never played Mother games.
Right.
But like
they have
just-
a couple games that are like
they
that.
just
They
don't
But
do
they're
that kind of
very
stuff.
they're very steadfast in their business practices. They are very unchanging. They'll never like deviate off a path to cater to anybody else other than
No, I remember
themselves.
like one time they re-released Pokemon Red and Blue on like the 3DS, and it was like, oh, you can buy these. I think they also did like Silver, Gold, and Crystal at some point, but it was like, oh, this is great. I can play.
Oh yeah, it was like
Blue.
Omega Red or no, what was it?
No,
Omega
that was
Sapphire?
was before-
remakes. Those
before
were
this.
remakes.
Oh, it was the remakes. Okay.
No, like they just re-released on the Virtual Console. You could play the Game Boy version of Red and Blue,
Oh, okay.
and it was great. And I was like, great! I can't wait for them to do this for all the GBA games, and they didn't.
because that's what people want. They just want an easy way to play the games from their childhood without jumping through legal loopholes to do it.
So
Right.
I think the GBA games are probably the best Pokemon games.
They really are, dude. Pokemon Emerald will forever be like.
Pokemon
I mean, like,
Emerald
I
and
know
like
it's-
I know
Fire,
it's
not
Fire
even-
Red Leaf Green.
I know it's not
are-
even
are, like, the
Nintendo,
best
but, like,
generation, in my opinion.
I played them on the SP.
Yeah.
The Sonic,
yeah, I had that
the
too.
Sonic Advanced games.
Yeah, I had that too.
Yeah,
I had those.
I want somewhere to play those again so bad.
Dude, Sonic Battle. Do you ever play that one?
Yes.
Yes.
Because that's where 2 Battle was like based off for the fucking like GameCube one, right?
I
That's
think
why they
so,
added
yeah.
2 Battle to it.
Yeah. Sonic Battle was so much fun. I really wish there was like a modernized version of that. I wish they would just remaster it.
Also, in like terms of, I mean, it would never work, but I just kind of want it. A like remaster or remake or whatever the fuck of the Sonic Adventure games. Those games are awful. I understand. I love them, and I love
dude,
them
for the time,
wholeheartedly.
At the
No, for
time,
the
they,
time,
were
pretty great.
amazing.
Like-
and like
Going back and playing them, they suck.
oh, I
They're
still
bad.
do.
No,
I
they're
still,
bad.
I
They're
literally
bad.
just replayed them last year because I still like them.
Dude,
and
even
I was
watching Game Grumps
I
play them,
don't
was
like
yo,
playing
this
them
is
anymore,
dog
but I
shit.
still I will
literally-
never hate those games. 'cause they
literally
were so
last
good.
year.
Yeah, they're so
played,
charming.
Yeah, literally last year played both of them, beat them. They are buggy as shit, but my god, do I love them?
They're
And
charming. They're
I just
charming.
I just
as
want
hell,
to put
dog.
I just want to put another 200 hours
I-
into Chow Garden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not
100%.
gonna lie, that's all I want.
And like,
Chow
if
Garden.
they, I don't think they could remake them because I just think it's inherently flawed. Like,
Well, no, that's the point of a remake is rebuilding it from the ground
no,
up.
but I mean, like, I
You
don't
think it'll
know if
lose the
Sonic
charm?
can work that way. Is
no,
what I'm
it's
saying.
totally could.
It's
But that's the,
they've
but
never
that's
really
the point of
pulled
a
it
remake.
off.
That's the point of a remake.
I think
It's
No,
they
I
build
know,
it
but I
from
mean,
the
like,
ground
they've
up.
never really pulled it off. Is my point.
Oh no, they never will.
Right, that's
But
what I'm
they
saying.
can try.
But like, I mean, and I would buy it. I'm sure it would have a whole host of different issues. Yo, if they also if they also remade Shadow the Hedgehog, let
Dude,
me
I'll
go around
never
murdering
forget.
people.
Shadow the Hedgehog's first frame of that game is him holding up a gun and cocking it. I'll
Stepping
never
on Sonic's
forget it.
head.
Oh my
I'll
god,
never
I
forget
remember
it.
being kids and like with Eamon, we were playing the game and he was like, dude, the further you get into this game, the more he curses. And he was like, yeah, that's so cool.
He says,
He
"Damn."
says, damn when he dies.
And like,
Oh my god,
awesome.
it was so
Awesome.
edgy and it was so freaking
No,
fun.
dude, it absolutely catered to the edgy emo teen in me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, me.
but like,
absolutely loved it.
I would so buy a remake of those. They'll never do it. But
no,
God,
wait,
would I buy it.
going
No,
back to
Sega refuses to acknowledge that Shadow the Hedgehog. exists.
going back to something like a little more modern. Sage, also you got Fire Emblem Three Houses.
I did.
Okay, and you picked Golden Deers.
I
What's
did.
up? What's up?
Pick Claude.
Best house. Claude is best boy.
Good choice.
Yeah.
I've never played a Fire Emblem game
Neither
in
have
my
I.
entire life, and I
Me
know-
neither. This
The
is
most
my
Fire
first
Emblem,
one.
the most Fire Emblem I've ever played is through a Smash
Yeah,
game.
it's you can smash. Yeah, for sure.
When that was coming out, I was like, huh, I think I'd probably like these. So I downloaded a Fire Emblem game. I fell in love with it. Found out it's like the least liked one in the franchise. I was like, cool, I'll probably really like this new game then.
Did
And-
you?
Yeah, I loved
What
it.
was
I was
least
waiting
liked
for you to
game?
go. Nope.
Three Houses. I beat it like twice, and then I started the third playthrough because there's like 4 or 5 possible like endings, and because when you start, there's 3 houses that you can pick from, so you can pick like 3 sets of characters to play with, and like it's all a different story. You know, once you get past halfway through. So for the first half, it's just the same thing no matter what, which is a little rough, but the gameplay's a lot of fun. It's just like a strategy turn-based RPG.
Oh,
kind of
so
thing.
like Cyberpunk 2077?
No.
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 Turn-based.
Like,
Oh, it's the
yeah,
same thing.
turn-based
No, I'm saying it's the
strategy.
same story all the way through.
Oh, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
wow,
then
wow.
then
Yeah,
yes.
no matter
I
what
thought you
you
meant
pick.
the gameplay. I was like,
No,
not
no,
at
no,
all.
Because
God, no.
halfway through, it's completely different.
Oh my god,
okay.
I have so many things to say about Cyberpunk. I think we've already had a rant about it, but oh my god, I fucking hate
No, we
that
don't have
game.
to talk
I
about
didn't
Cyberpunk.
play
But
it,
like,
so.
I'll be
regardless,
here all night.
regardless, in the same vein of the first game that you played in a series, and you're like, oh, I love this one. You find out everyone hates it. Is for me Resident Evil 5. Resident Evil 5, the
dog
first
shit
game.
game
I ever played. Love that
Fucking
game.
piece of
It
shit
is my
game.
favorite Resident Evil game. Out of all the ones I played, Revelations 2 is then second best. Fucking love that game.
Why? Why? You're one of the 12 people that have played
Anthony
Revelations
is so
2.
upset.
What's wrong with Revelations 2?
Did I give
Austin
it?
also likes Revelations 2. I'm not alone in that.
I'm just saying, like, why your favorite? There's so many better Resident Evil
Because
games. Like-
6 is awful.
yeah, sure is.
7 and 8 just aren't the game I like to play.
Okay, fair.
They're very different games.
Yeah, they're just
they're
not a
very good,
game
but they're very
I like to
different.
play.
Yeah.
Um,
But even in the third person like shooter, like John, like Resident Evil 4 is right there.
But I like 5 more. I find it more fun to play. I find it more enjoyable to play.
Oh god, that game is so fucking bad, dude.
I didn't
Oh,
play
I
this
love-
game,
I
Oh,
love
you
that
heard
game.
me play. You heard me play it on Discord, dude.
but I
was
saw
cursing the
you
whole
playing
time.
it, and it was.
You saw me playing it, and I was
awful.
like, "This is such
I love
bullshit.
5 so
and
much.
it's racist as fuck, dude. It's so bad.
But, like,
I played
I-
the demo for it. I remember it. It was just.
yeah, it's bad.
It's racist off the
real
bat.
But like
Yeah.
I don't know. I love 5 so much.
The
It's
only
so
good part
fun.
of 5 is when Chris punches the boulder to kill Wesker. That's it.
But-
Other than that,
Oh,
dog
do we have to
shit.
throw a
I love
spoiler
every-
tag up for that?
What?
Do we have to throw a spoiler tag up for that? And the
No.
answer's
No,
No, not at
Answer's
all.
no.
Everybody should know about it.
Everyone knows
Everybody
about the
should know
boulder
about it.
punch by
I
now.
don't even know
Well,
what you're talking about.
So in
That's okay,
Resident Evil
Sage. I'm
5,
pretending.
You punch a
In Resident
boulder
Evil
into
5.
submission.
So you know a boulder.
like
You know what a
rock?
boulder
A
is?
giant
a big,
rock.
A big rock.
A big fuck
so,
off rock.
So you know when you punch a rock, it would hurt.
Yeah.
There's a part in Resident Evil 5 where you're playing as big man Chris Redfield, and you have to kill your arch nemesis Albert Wesker, right?
Is
And
he a
turns
rock?
into like a big.
no.
He turns into like a big mutated monster. And so at one point in the boss fight, you have to cross.
It like
You have to
separates
cross
the
a
two
lava
players.
lake. You have to cross a lava lake because you're in the middle of a volcano because this game has no
I've
fucking
got
no
the
fucking
GIF
logic.
up right now.
Show her. Show
Wait,
her the
hold on.
So
boulder
basically, the
punching
game
gif.
separates
see
the
if it's
two
got the
because
full
you
one.
you have a partner with you.
Oh,
So the game
okay.
separates you and the partner.
Yeah, and you know
So you
what?
got to get back together
Wait,
to
do
like
you
beat.
play as both at the same time?
No.
The second player can play as
Pass
the
this
second.
down.
Yeah, you
Pass
swap
this
between.
down, please.
But
Yeah.
like, so you get you
Let it
you
restart
like
and then
they're
get
at the
to-
other part, and you have to both get together to be able to beat
Sage,
the
you ready for
boss.
this?
So we're showing the thing. That's all a button mashing screen. You punch the boulder,
just punch the
you
boulder?
uppercut the boulder, and you make it move. So that way you can make a bridge across the lava for
Hey,
your
look how
ally to
big
get
that
there.
thing is. That thing could tear through a house easy.
That seems kind of silly.
Yeah, it's
Well, yeah.
stupid.
First of all Resident Evil games are silly.
Not.
No, not all. All right, the original ones weren't, but like they were
No,
hard
yeah,
games.
8 is pretty silly.
Yeah, but
at
like-
one point.
And
One or two.
but
One or
like
2 points.
whatever.
One or 2
I
points.
understand that people don't like that game. It's my favorite. I don't care.
No, I just admire your like tenacity in liking this game so much. I really do.
I
really do.
think it's so much fun. I've played co-op through that game so many times. I've gotten all of the guns and like infinite ammo so many times. I've 100%. I know where all the BSAA emblems are in that game, like by memory.
Love
I
that.
love that game.
I love your attachment to it. That's really nice. That's
yeah,
really
and like,
wholesome.
and is it probably because it was the first one I played? Most definitely. But like, I've played the other ones since, and I don't like them as much.
Rip.
And like,
you
I
have
don't
an
know.
emotional attachment to it for sure.
Yeah.
Like there is a sentiment.
And also, like, just to put it out there, I do not think 7 and 8 are bad games. They are just not my kind of game. I don't like that kind of horror
No, I hate
aspect
that.
of
It's a
game.
very
that-
different
first off,
style.
That is
Yeah.
a stupid criticism that people love to lob on people. It's like when you say like, because you said like they're not my type of games. That's fine. That's not a criticism. That's
Right.
just it's not your thing. And the people are like, you didn't like those games.
Yeah, no,
It's like
like-
that's not what
Yeah.
I said.
And, like I
No,
think
dude,
they,
like-
I think they are fine games. They're just not for me. Like generally, like that kind of horror-based game, like I don't get scared very easily. So a lot of times I'm just like kind of walking around, and I'm just like the vibe that makes it interesting usually never hits me. So I'm just kind of sitting there, and I'm like. And then like it gets to a point where I'm just like kind of sick of doing the puzzles, and I'm just like, you know what? It's just not for me.
It's
It is
not
a
for
I
you.
get scared
That's
constantly.
it.
yeah, it's just a
You
game
know,
that's not
because
scary.
you know what? Same
I
thing with
believe
me.
you.
Fire Emblem, like turn-based art, like not turn-based RPGs, but like that Fire Emblem type RPG, not for me.
I was
thought
gonna say,
you were
didn't
gonna
you
say
like
Scared
that? I
Game.
was gonna say, isn't 7 not the remake, but Final Fantasy 7 wasn't that turn-based?
Yeah, but that's not the same. That's not,
It's
not
a
the same.
different kind of turn-based. It's
Yeah.
like
Oh.
it's like
It's not the
time-based.
same.
So instead of like being turn, there's a certain amount of time before you can do a move with each character. So
Yeah.
if you
Oh, I
sit
assumed it
there
was like
and
the
you
same
like
thing.
go through the menu, the enemies are gonna keep attacking you.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was like the same kind.
but
of
like,
thing.
yeah,
No.
but I guess a broader example.
It's a little different.
I'm not a big fan of like city management games or like
Oh,
management
okay.
games.
It's
So like
sometimes I'm all about
Tropico
'em.
or like Sim City, not for me. Not
Like
bad.
Roller
Not saying they're
Coaster
bad.
Factorio.
Tycoon.
Roller coaster, not for me. Not for me. Not
Some-
my kind of game.
I have to be in such a mood, but like if I'm in a mood, I
Oh
can
yeah,
fucking
if
play
I'm
it.
in a mood,
That's
I'm
right.
in a
what
mood.
was-
Like-
there was one called like I think Banished or something that was like
Yes.
Yeah.
I know about that one.
My friend was like one.
That was
one time,
big.
My
That
friend,
was big. And like
my friend told
5
me
years
like,
ago.
hey, definitely just play this game, and I was like, sure. And I just downloaded it that day, and I played it for 3 days straight.
Like
Yeah.
another example of games that people really don't like, but it was the one I played. Civilization Revolution.
I've never heard of that.
Civilization
I haven't played a
fans,
Civ fan.
Civilization
A Civ
fans
game yet.
really don't like that game because it simplified the fuck out of Civilization.
Oh, but that's
So,
probably
so
like
it'd
such an
probably be
easier
a good
starting
entry point for people like
yeah.
me.
yeah, like
who have
it was
never
great.
played a
It's
Civilization
so
game.
fun to play. Like, and most Civ people hate it, but like it's so fun to play, and I enjoyed a lot. Or like other games were like Stellaris or Halo Wars. Those are types
I
of games.
love Halo Wars.
Those are the type of games that I usually do not like playing, but I fucking love Halo Wars 1 and
Halo
2. I
Wars
like
1
1
is
more than
awesome.
2, but like God, I love the two of them
I loved
so
1,
much.
yeah.
I'm
1 is
so
great.
bummed they're never making a 3.
Yeah.
And Stellaris, another game where it's like very big micromanaging type stuff. I usually hate.
I
but,
can
like,
get into like a specific type of RTS.
Yeah.
Like I really like Star Wars Empire at War.
Oh, there
but
was-
that's because it's a very simplified version of an RTS.
There was
for
a
sure.
Lord of the Rings one for the Xbox 360.
Battle of
Conquest.
Middle Earth.
Yep, loved that
Oh,
one.
it's not
it was
Conquest?
so much fun.
No, Conquest was like the Battlefront type game.
Yes.
yeah.
Do you remember that?
That was what
Wait,
got me into like
you were
RTS
one of the
games.
12 people along with me that played that game.
That was the
Lord
yeah.
of the Rings Conquest whips, dude.
They
Oh, I
shut
remember
when
that
they
game
shut
being
down
so
that
fun.
server. I was so bummed.
Oh yeah, no, I never got to play online, but back in the day, that was a fun ass game.
I
Alright,
played.
do you guys have like a generally hated game that you really love? Just
Other
like
than the ones I just mentioned.
Other than the ones you just meant, like if you had like one that you just really want to call
Generally
out.
hated games.
I'm trying to think like personally.
like a guilty pleasure.
Let's call it a guilty.
I guess
pleasure
it would
game.
be a guilty pleasure, wouldn't it?
I mean, I just listed like all of mine, but
I know. I'm
I'm
just
trying
see.
to think. I think a lot of people don't like Super Mario Sunshine. I fucking love that
that game is amazing.
No,
People
I
don't
think
like
that
that
people
game?
love.
I
People love
think
that.
people don't
I
like
think that's
that
my
game.
favorite Mario game.
People love
to be
that game.
real.
I don't like that game.
I
don't think it's
really love
bad.
that
I
game.
just didn't like the gameplay personally.
I think either that or Galaxy might be my favorite Mario.
Galaxy,
game.
I thought was a lot of
Galaxy.
fun.
I thought Galaxy
whips.
was fine.
Galaxy. whips.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Like,
Sorry, Sage.
You're fine. I've
um,
played like 3 games in my life.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool, cool, cool,
use
cool.
one of those 3.
StarCraft.
remember all those topics we had that
games
People
were.
like StarCraft.
I love
People really
StarCraft.
like
we
StarCraft.
had
I love
so many. We
StarCraft.
had so many topics about anime, and we did not get to any of them.
Oh, dude,
who
we
gives a
had so
shit?
many manga topics too. and-
Yeah,
This
we
is the
really
video
did.
We're
game
Gucci. We're
episode.
Gucci.
Well, hey, now we have more time for next week to talk about them.
Oh, now we can make you read that one shot next week.
Yeah.
No, I'll
Hey,
read it by
you
next
can do
week.
your
Yeah, sure.
homework.
You can
I'll
read
do it
that.
this weekend. I'll do
Yeah,
it this
and I
weekend.
really hope that this encourages you to read Death Note because it's the Death Note one shot. It's
Bro,
technically a
you
Or
sequel.
watch
is it-
Death Note.
Oh, then why
It is
am I
a
gonna read the
sequel
sequel?
because it's not.
It's
spoiler.
not a sequel.
But it's not related
It
to
doesn't-
it
it's
at
not
all.
related to
anyway.
the story. It
So
just
would I have to read Death Note?
No.
No.
It literally doesn't spoil anything.
no, it doesn't spoil.
No, I'm not worried about spoilers. I don't care about
We're
spoilers.
just saying you
I'm worried
should
about, am I
read
gonna
or
know what's
watch
going
Death
on?
Note because it's really
there's
good.
like 3 characters that show up that were in the thing, but like they explain it enough that like it doesn't really matter.
You're not.
Oh.
You're not going to be lost.
Okay.
You're just going to be like, oh, this is a really interesting one shot. Also, there's another one shot by the author of Chainsaw Man. It's called Look Back. He put it out. It was just within this week.
Oh, that was like 200 pages, right? That was the one-
100.
That was the one that I heard about?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just gotta say, like,
Really
this
good.
guy's amazing. He put out Chainsaw Man, which is just the best thing that's come out in the last couple of years, in my personal opinion, of what I've read. And then this one shot came out in between him doing part 1 and 2 of Chainsaw Man. It was stunning. Like,
Yeah.
Mike, you read
Is it
too.
related to Chainsaw Man?
Not at all. It's completely different.
It's
a
just his own
completely
thing.
different genre.
Oh, I want to
of
find
story.
that quote from him if you want to keep talking.
Yes, yeah, it's a great quote. So basically, I don't want to get into like what it is. It's a story of 2 kids, 2 girls who love art and just pursue their passion. And
That sounds really nice.
How sweet.
Lovely.
he has a way of making it sound nice.
So I
Uh-oh.
have the quote, which is, when I draw one shots, I'm usually angry. You know, there's a lot of angry people on the internet, and I think they can vent their anger on the sites like Twitter, but I don't really know how to. I put my anger into my manga.
Oh, God.
And
Oh my.
it's
Oh, no.
Oh
it's
my.
got a lot of those feelings in it, and it made me feel a lot of things. Just I'm not even an artist, and it made me feel a lot of things just going through it. It's beautiful, and I highly recommend just reading Look Back. You can read it in under an hour.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
I'll have to check it out.
It's you need no information for it. It's just really
Well,
good.
I figured if it was like a one
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really good. But yeah, you should have no problems with with
The
the,
Death
one shot
Note
of
one?
the Death Note one. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Because
Same author.
yes.
Yes.
Same author. It's like 80 pages. It's
87
a lot
pages.
Of, 87 pages. It's a lot of fun.
I
Oh, that's
literally,
like a
I literally
volume.
read it at work today.
There's a cameo in there you're definitely gonna recognize, and you're gonna be like, okay,
It's really funny.
it's very funny.
Yeah.
Is it a comedy?
No.
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 Oh, okay.
No. it's
Not at all.
Not at all.
Anyway, but
Alright.
yes, so we'll talk about anime next week. We're gonna
sure
talk.
will.
We're probably gonna talk about Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid a little bit.
Yes.
I'm really
Um,
glad I watched that right before we record so we can talk about it.
Same.
Yeah. Probably gonna talk about Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid a little bit. Probably gonna talk about the Death Note manga.
The look back manga.
Yeah,
and-
maybe I'll have finished Odd Taxi by then, so I might just
should
talk
start
about it
that,
very
yeah.
lightly. Maybe I'll finish Naruto by then too. Who knows?
Ooh, who knows?
I got 9 episodes
Nine
left.
episodes.
Spicy update.
God,
To be-
do I
to be
not give
fair,
a shit about this
Mike,
story?
Mike, to be fair, you got through the actual story.
I did.
This
Th-
is not
This
manga
is like the
canon.
time skip stuff that God do I not give a shit about at
Right.
all. I'm just doing it because I'm 9 episodes away from
You
completing
need,
it.
You need to be like, I've gotten the badge. It says I watched all of it.
I swear to
I'm-
God, Mike, this is a test of endurance. Like,
Yeah.
this is an endurance test.
Like one day I'll be able to come on this podcast and be like, I finally finished
Like
Fists
a
of the North
frail
Star.
old man. Just
Oh my god.
Mike's
give
gonna
up
walk
on it.
on with like a walker.
when we actually have a live studio audience, you're gonna be a frail old man.
I'll,
Just,
what-
"I
I'll-
finally
no, I'll come in
finished Fist of the
JoJo
North
posing
Star."
as ripped as fuck as the first JoJo and be like, I finished Fists of the North Star.
No, just
Tortilla.
Joseph. I mean that Joseph poses. All right. With that said,
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thanks
everybody,
for
for
listening to us rant about video games. For
Yeah, that was a whole lot of
Hour
video
and a half.
game, a little bit of how we got this all together.
I
Yeah.
hope
a-
you have a better understanding of how all this shit works.
I
now.
don't.
Cool.
It's okay. I'm teaching
Our
her.
jobs
How
are
to,
done.
I'm teaching her the controls of Breath of the Wild because I think she ignored the tutorial.
But yeah,
I didn't ignore it.
She sure did. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you're watching us on YouTube, remember to like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching it, if you're listening to us, you can't be watching. If you're listening to us on any streaming services, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, leave us a like, review, except for Spotify, you can't review on there. And, just give us a follow or anything. Tweet at us at our Twitter, which is in the description. Hit up Anthony at Super Milkshake on YouTube. Hit up Kat on Kat the Moonstar on Twitch. And I think that's everything. We
That's
do
it.
also have a TikTok if anyone cares about that. We just
And we
post
have
some clips on
Instagram.
there.
You sure
We
should.
also have an Instagram. We just post clips on the TikTok and whatnot. But yeah, thanks for listening and/or watching. See you next week. Oh, and lastly, Anime Club is in two episodes from now.
2 episodes from now,
Episode 10.
Yeah.
That gives you the better number.
you have 2 weeks to watch
Um,
Kaguya-sama: Love Is War Season 1, which it came out a while ago, so you might have already seen it.
Yeah.
So do I.
But
I
you
also
might
have
want
2
to
weeks
brush
watch
up on
the
it.
show.
Yeah, and that'll be pretty much exclusively what we talk about for episode 10.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
if you don't care, watch it anyway. If you do care, then, probably watch it before you watch that episode. Anyway,
Anyway.
have a good one, people.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.